Beck with dad message for new dad, Buck Sexton, and your former employer when you started in the media space.
Indeed.
So coming full circle there and talking about make sure you're enjoying every moment. How was the first weekend, full weekend at home, Easter with baby boy James?
It's great, man. It's great. We're having a lot of fun. You know, it's a lot of good stuff going on. I don't know what to say. It's fantastic. I love it. I just want to get to a couple more. I got to stop thinking about grandkids because that's probably a ways away for me. So, I really enjoy it. It's fantastic.
A lot of great responses rolling in. We'll get to more of those tomorrow about who's going to be the standard bearer of the Democrat Party going forward. I do agree with you that AOC is likely to be the public-facing opposition of Trump in the midterms. I do think that is likely to emerge, meaning next year at this time, as we get closer to summer and everybody start to think about who's going to win the House, I think that she probably will work in some of those areas. But I think if you're smart, I'm giving advice to Democrats. If you're smart, running against Trump doesn't make sense because he's not going to be able to run again. You have to give a vision for the country that is something other than Trump is Hitler, he's awful. I think as soon as the midterms are over, you'll actually see, and I've said this on the air, Buck, a pivot towards, the Republican Party didn't win in 2024. Trump did. He's just that good of a politician. His talents won't translate into 2028. Get ready for that argument. It's coming.
I think that's probably going to happen. We didn't get to enough talkbacks and calls today. We'll take more tomorrow. We just got fired up about a few things. But remember, send us a talkback anytime. You don't have to be listening live to the show. Just go to the little phone on the little microphone on the iHeart app under the Clay and Buck page. iHeartRadio is the app. And also check out the Clay and Buck Podcast Network. Some great shows over the weekend, and a lot of you are catching up. More for you tomorrow.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton on the front lines of truth.
Stream the all-new Clay Travis and Buck Sexton show exclusively on the Extra 106.3 app.
Israel is still under attack. Missile fire has resumed from Israel's enemies, terrorists who seek utter death and destruction for the country here in America. We can't imagine what it's like to live in constant fear like this. But for the people of Israel, it's very real every single day.
Please join us and show the people of Israel you'll help protect them in this time of attack and uncertainty. And one of the best ways to do this is by giving to the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. Your gift today helps provide security essentials like bomb shelters, flak jackets, and bulletproof vests, armored security vehicles, ambulances, and so much more.
There's no better time to give than right after the Passover holiday, which celebrates Israel's historic deliverance and birth as a nation. Give a gift today and help protect the people of Israel. Call 888-488-IFCJ. That's 888-488-4325. Or go online at supportifcj.org. One word, supportifcj.org.
With tariffs, costs might increase across the country on our everyday purchases, but not at Legacy Box. While others raise prices, Legacy Box is keeping things simple and affordable because they're proudly 100% American-based. Every tape, film reel, and photo you send to them will be digitized right here in the USA and digitized by skilled technicians who understand how priceless your memories are.
Legacy Box makes this easy, providing a solution for preserving your past recorded memories. Just fill up the kit with your old home movies and photos, send it in, and you'll get everything back, plus beautiful digital copies you can stream and share from the cloud.
No overseas shipping, no complicated instructions, just peace of mind knowing your memories are being handled with care right here at home. We've both relied on Legacy Box and love their work.
And right now, Legacy Box is offering an incredible $9 per tape sale. That's 65% off. Visit legacybox.com/clay to lock in the savings today. legacybox.com/clay.
If you've been thinking about a new Ford, now's the time to buy. At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you can take advantage of employee pricing on select new Ford models.
That means you pay what Ford employees pay. No markup, no hidden fees. It's all a part of Ford's bold campaign, from America for America.
While others may raise prices due to new auto tariffs, Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs is stepping up, giving you the power to save big on American-made vehicles. Choose from bestsellers like the F-150, rugged Bronco, capable Explorer, or the all-electric Mustang Mach-E.
Vehicles built to move America and move you.
And when you buy from Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you're not just getting a great deal, you're getting award-winning service from a locally family-owned dealership.
Find your perfect Ford just 4 miles north of 285 on Roswell Road, or shop online at JimEllisFord.com. Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, where you pay what we pay,
And where you can always expect the best.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 3 p.m. hour is presented by First Liberty Building and Loan.
We've just learned how the Pope died. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. Pope Francis is dead at the age of 88, a day after he gave his final Easter blessing. Fox's Eric Shawn is outside St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City.
Those are the bells. They're ringing in honor of the pontiff being called here the People's Pope, who spread the teachings of Jesus Christ with the same humility and spirit of the Savior himself. Inside St. Patrick's Cathedral, there is a giant portrait of the late pontiff on the altar amid all the flowers. He's be remembered as a man who loved, an activist for social justice who stood up and remembered the forgotten.
The Vatican's out with a statement, says the cause of Pope Francis's death was a cerebral stroke that led to a coma and irreversible heart failure. President Trump ordering flags at federal buildings and military installations be flown at half-staff in honor of the Pope.
He was a good man, worked hard. He loved the world, and it's an honor to do that.
Other world leaders are acting as well. Fox's Jonathan Savage is in London.
King Charles and Queen Camilla were among the final world leaders to meet Pope Francis when they visited the Vatican earlier this month. Charles says he's deeply saddened by Pope Francis's passing at the age of 88. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer paid tribute to what he called the Pope's tireless efforts to create a world that is fairer for all. Russian leader Vladimir Putin called Francis a defender of the highest values of humanism and justice. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni described the late pontiff as a great man and a great shepherd. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
And it's Patriots Day in Boston. Sharon Lokedi breaking the Boston Marathon course record, winning on the women's side with an unofficial time, 2 hours, 17 minutes, 22 seconds. Fellow Kenyan John Career winning for the men's in the 129th running of the Boston Marathon. America's listening to Fox News.
When you hear the term living better, what do you think about? More money? A bigger house? Maybe a yacht? What about how you feel physically? How you wake up each day? How you sleep? What activities you can and cannot do? When you feel good, life is good. So if pain is affecting your life, see how Relief Factor can help. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, it doesn't just mask pain temporarily. It helps reduce or even eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So give their 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call, 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're hurting, in 3 weeks or even days, Relief Factor can give you a chance to rediscover the true meaning of living better again. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis, sidekick producing sports rec on tour extraordinaire. And the mechanical mangler at the controls is not here today, but Chris has taken Flounder's spot in the studio.
Oh, the day I was born.
Yeah, what's going on, man? Chris, Flounder's doing with Mrs. Flounder doing a charity event. And which is, maybe he'll call in a little later on. I don't know. But anyway, so he's off today. In the meantime, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A whole bunch of newsy stuff going on. And you could have faked me out this morning when I woke up and the Pope died. And I thought, in fact, I thought, oh my God, the Pope died. I just saw him on Easter. I mean, and then I thought to myself, the man was 88. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and he'd been dying for a very long time. I mean, and people kept, anyway. So that's obviously the, huge major story. And we'll talk at length about that. Also, the Martin Scorsese series on the Saints. Have you heard about that? It's
I haven't seen it. No.
I haven't seen it. It's a Fox News thing, I think, but I think it's. I don't know whether it's available to the general public. I guess you can buy it or whatever. Anyway, he's got apparently in this final episode. And I don't know whether this is breaking news. I don't know whether it's aired yet or not. But apparently, he talks about Mary Magdalene and whether, in fact, she was a prostitute or a whole bunch of other different things, and trying to come to a conclusion, which is still
there's nothing in the Bible
debate.
that says she was a prostitute. In fact, I saw something about the Renaissance. Is that the painters of the Renaissance wanted like a symbol. And they pretty much said she was a prostitute.
Well, in fact, again, I don't know whether this is giving away a show if you're watching it. I think this is in the final episode. Whether it's aired or not, I don't know. So I'm not trying to give away something. But the little story I have here, and I thought was interesting, said that it appears, of course, she was at the crucifixion. She was a major part of the last few days of Jesus. But it said she was either a widow, and that's how she had money. She had been married before, or that she had a wealthy inheritance. She lived in a fishing village in Galilee. Either she was a widow, or she had a serious inheritance from a family, or she was a kept woman. Not that she was a prostitute. That came later. People couple hundred years later kind of made that as sort of a thing. And it may have been that she was living with a guy in return for, being like a common law wife, that he was taking care of her. But
I said 1,400 years later. That came out.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought it was kind of interesting because who knows? And again, we'll never know. I guess.
Maybe one day, hopefully.
Well, again, I'm hoping that everything becomes clear. When you die, I hope you get an angel to take you on a tour. And here's what, married Magdalene. No, here, let's go. All right, we're going to scene 9. Got to go to the Kimmer's dead. We're going to scene 9 and the whole Mary Magdalene with the true story behind Mary Magdalene, and then you get the story.
Mary's standing there waiting to slap everybody who called her a prostitute for the last 1,000 years.
Right. Yeah, with the long fingernails. Anyway, we'll do Pope stuff, talk about Pope stuff. And by the way, did the stock market go down like 1,000 points today? I was hearing
it was down earlier.
And now
about 1,300
earlier. Would that be
earlier.
because the Pope died?
No.
Well, then what's the...
China's threatening other countries
Well,
now,
yeah, they said if you help America, but I think they're doing it just for... No, this chair's not going to
They're panicking.
Yeah.
Is that chair getting on you again?
That's not going to work.
Okay. You're adjusting yourself on camera again.
Well, I don't know about cameras. I don't care about cameras. Sorry. I'm a wreck. I'm just... I hate to talk about myself being a wreck. The Pope died, so who am I to talk about,
what timing,
pain
too?
and agony.
It's Easter.
I know. So you suffer a little, for God's sakes. You're supposed to suffer a little. Well, I've done my share. Thank you.
It's somebody else's day. Come on.
Yeah. Give me a break, God. Anyway.
So what'd you do for Easter?
Well, I just, I was fairly selfish. I did, although I prayed. I did a little Easter thing, and I prayed, and I prayed for my family, stuff like that. And I always have my daily out loud prayer that I do every day. And I did, in fact, watch some episodes of the History Channel show, A Story of the Bible. Which was a very interesting series, by the way.
You need to watch The Chosen.
I have seen that. In fact, I saw, and then I think it disappeared.
It jumps all around. It's on Peacock now.
Yeah, it was on CBS or something.
Netflix. It jumps around.
I did see a couple of it. It was really good.
It's angered me recently because they made up an entire love affair between Thomas and some woman that never existed, and that kind of angered me.
Really?
Yeah, that's like, come on, man, we don't need a love story in this.
It's like the movie Noah. Noah's Ark, and they had stone monsters?
Rock monsters.
Rock monster stone creatures. Now, wait a minute.
Let's just make it up.
I know. Is that in Leviticus or Deuteronomy or double Corinthians, like Trump would say? Double Corinthians.
He wrote it while he was drinking at the Deuteronomy 500.
Yeah, who won that this year? Anyway, 308, Kimmer, Pete, and Chris is in for Flounder. And glad to be Chris, thank you. I know you probably got the short straw here and everything else, but so anyways, it's good to have you aboard. And we'll have Flounders Funnies, and we have Holy Crap at Sports, and we have Pete's Tweets, and we have a game. I think we have a game.
Yes, we do. We have a game.
And a couple of things. In fact, we'll talk more about the Pope passing and things like that, and his effect, and how he wasn't. Well, I mean, he was criticized, and there are a lot of high-ranking Catholics who were saying he's overall would be kind of a negative for what he did for the social justice business.
Yeah, the old Fox News. He was a champion of social justice. Who
That's
cares?
not good. Yeah,
we don't. There's justice. There's no need for social or anything put ahead of that.
Yeah.
Either you have justice or you don't. Justice is supposed to be blind. Social justice, please.
Well, the problem was, and just as a tease, and I don't want to start doing this now because we got a couple of things I'm just freaking flabbergasted about to start with, was that he went out of his way to criticize Donald Trump. But he never criticized Joe Biden being in favor of abortion and allowing immigrants to come in and start.
He's all for the Catholic Church is all for the immigrants coming in.
Yeah,
so they helped him.
So again, it was it wasn't really fair about his handling of things, which is why you don't do it at all. Just leave it alone. I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do I know?
Well, he was a socialist.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm deciding whether to throw my my hat in the ring to be the new pope.
Well, why not?
It's anybody can be elected pope.
Really? Like speaker or something like
anybody.
that?
They just the Cardinals vote and they could pick anybody. And by the way, a couple things I was trying to Google. I remember the movie Shoes of the Fisherman. Did you ever see that movie with Anthony Quinn played?
Yeah, I think it
that
did.
was
Anthony Quinn.
Really good. If I remember, a really good movie. And was that? And that was about how they talk about the smoke and the white smoke and the black smoke, and then we have a pope. And I mean, it was really amazing. It took you really inside. I think the pomp and circumstance.
Conclave, the new one with Ray Fiennes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, there was The Borgias. That was a series that was on for a while. And there have been a couple of things, but I wonder if they're going to replay The Shoes of the Fisherman. That's got to be 40 years old. That's got to be way back.
Oh, my God, 60 years old. What are you talking
about? Maybe in the 1960s. Maybe
60s, yeah. Had to be in the 60s.
Anyway, but for 311, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and here's our number, by the way, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. How was your Easter? Did you have a thing or a...
I thought you never asked.
Oh, well, there you are.
I went with two beautiful young ladies to Sugar Creek Baptist Church, which is kind of out in the woods a little bit. It is an old-time Southern Baptist church, and it's been a while since I've been at one.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more singing than it used to be.
Really? Which is good.
Which is very good. The choir gets up and sings like 6 or 7 songs. At one point, this young lady stood up, and she started crying while she was singing, but kept singing.
Yeah.
And it was just a gorgeous voice. Yeah. Very moving. And the preacher was doing kind of the cadence thing where you get going with almost a song, almost an auctioneer type thing, where after every phrase, like, Jesus loves you, and he's here for your sins, Yeah, and it's after everything, and it gets going, and he goes for like 40 minutes doing that. That's quite an experience to watch somebody do that.
Yeah.
It was very well done. There's a lot more talking to the choir that I don't remember as much when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Usually it was sit there, be quiet, and have them yell at you for 40 minutes, and you went home and watched the ball game.
Yeah, well, there you go.
You feeling all right over there?
I'm feeling good now.
Why don't you tell everybody why you're doing this?
No, I can't.
Why you're so uncomfortable?
My body.
Does Chris know? Do you know why he's so uncomfortable?
God.
Well, let's just say the older you get, things drop. They get in the way.
No, actually, you know what it is?
It doesn't say nice and firm?
Well, no, honestly, it's just, in fact, I'll tell you, okay, my apologies, because, the Pope died, and there's a serious thing going on, and I'm about to tell you, and again, it's, okay, I can't believe what's going on with my stupid freaking body. I've been hitting balls on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, and I've been going way too much of it, apparently, and then all of a sudden I realized, and then also I took my chopper out Saturday and again Sunday, and that chopper is a monster, and it's got, your arms at a different angle, your legs are a different angle. I'm using muscles I haven't used in years. And my body is saying, no, you can't do that, and you have to go slower or something. And obviously, I'm overdoing it. I'm in complete freaking agony. At 2:00 in the morning, I get this. It's not just. I don't think it's a hernia. I think it's hip dysplasia. I'm getting pains through my hip, pains through down in my upper thigh muscles. I mean, it's like, oh my God, it's unbelievable.
Soreness.
It's sore, but it's excruciating. Where I wake up and I can't move to my left side. I mean, it's a nightmare, and it's just because I'm overdoing it. But I can't stop over. I mean, how are you supposed to just not do it? Go sit on the couch all night?
Slow down.
God, I'll. Anyway.
I have none of those problems, and I sit on the couch every night, so I'm telling you.
God. Anyway.
How did we go from Easter service to your crotch?
Because I need some assistance. It's 14 minutes after 3. Thank God Flounder's off today to go through this. Poor Chris. 404-741-1230. We're here till 6. And Bracer and Tom with St. Louis tonight. Is that
That's right.
Outstanding. Okay, so we got all the way. It's all coming up. Here we go. Stand by. Look out.
Extra 106.3 app is your live connection to the station, streaming free across Georgia. But it's also loaded with all our original shows and podcasts. Listen to exclusive shows from Janelle King, Ben Burnett, and so many more. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
All right, yeah, here we go. Kimber, Pete, and Chris in for Flounder here today. And by the way, don't forget, the bad guys are still out there. Donald Trump's doing his best to get rid of illegal alien thieves and stuff like that, but they're still out there. And that's why Jeff and Mark and the gang at Atlanta Safe House have your rights and your stuff and the things you want to keep safe and sound in mind, because they've got Atlanta Safe House they have a showroom in Ackworth, and I think they have almost 200 safes right there, ready to go. And again, if you're looking for all gun safes, by the way, no sales tax. You don't have to pay the sales tax on all the gun safes. And they're not, they have pistol safes and big rack gun safes, which I've had, which they can bolt from the inside right to your concrete floor, your garage or basement if you want to. But they can arrange them inside for nooks and crannies, anything you're looking for, whatever suits you. And all the top brands, Browning and Fort Knox, American Security. And by the way, they're always either on sale or they got rebates like crazy, saving hundreds of dollars. These guys protect your stuff. And unlike when the Kimber went to Florida and I didn't have my safes down there and lost some things I wanted to keep track of, and it cost me, and it's my own fault, and I'm an idiot. So don't be an idiot, And by the way, these guys only use off-duty police, firefighters, and military folks like that to deliver your safes because you can trust them in your house or your office or whatever. And by the way, they can build you a family storm shelter if you want. I mean, they got protective stuff. And don't forget, if you're going to be out of town maybe for the summer or for a long time, or you've got an event or something coming up, they can rent you a safe. They can fix your safe. They can change your master reset code. They can do it all. On display right there. Showroom in Ackworth and on the web, atlantasafehouse.com.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to know the start of the new season is the perfect time to ensure your home's comfort. Don't wait like most people do to have your HVAC system serviced. Your home should have maintenance twice a year. Maintenance helps keep your system running at peak efficiency and extends the life of your equipment. So turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts for your system's maintenance. With Central, you get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. It's allergy season, and Central Heating and Air can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air is one of the few second-generation, locally owned and operated HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretired.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Hey, Dad, can I ask you something?
Sure.
How do you know when you're in love?
Well, can't stop thinking about him. Your heart races sometimes, and you just want to be with him every moment of the day.
Dad, I think I'm in love then.
Got a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I remember my first Subaru, too.
There are so many reasons to love a new Subaru. From Subaru of Gwinnett, like standard symmetrical all-wheel drive on most models. top-rated gas mileage, and technology and safety that will give you the warm and fuzzies. Like the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek, with 182 horsepower and up to 120 cubic feet of interior space. Or the 2024 Subaru Outback, built to take you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Add in their amazing staff and incredible service department, and you'll understand why love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. But the only way to know it's the one is to come in for a test drive. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or start shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
It's the NRA Annual Meetings and Exhibits at the World Congress Center, April 25th to 27th. 14 acres of guns and gear from the most popular brands, political speakers, self-defense and firearm training seminars, a Saturday night concert featuring Big and Rich, NRA Youth Day, and much more. It's a freedom-filled weekend with something for everyone. Tickets just $10. NRA members get in free. Visit NRAtickets.com. That's NRAtickets.com. You don't want to miss this.
It's front office lows for Howard Brothers and Cub Cadet. April in Georgia means the grass is growing fast, and it's mowing time with Cub Cadet. From zero turn to lawn tractors, Cub Cadet mowers are built for power, precision, and comfort, so you can tackle your yard with ease. It's the top pick for homeowners when they want the perfect cut every time. Let's not fall behind this season. Visit your local Howard Brothers today and get your Cub Cadet mower ready for the season. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Cub Cadet and Howard Brothers.
This day, 2016, Prince is found dead. 57 years old. Virtuosic musician, created 30 albums, won 7 Grammys, 40-year career. Found in his Paisley Park, Minnesota home recording studio in an elevator, apparently. He was 57. President Obama said few artists influence the sound and trajectory of popular music more distinctly or touched quite so many people with their talent. His full name, Prince Rogers Nelson, born in Minneapolis, sold Purple Rain's Monster, 13 million copies of the Grammy Award for Best Rock Performance in his album Purple Rain in 1984, a high point. Academy Award for Best Original Song Score. He was R&B, funk, rock, pop, what later became known as Minneapolis Sound. And famously, Prince played all of the instruments on his albums himself, including 27 different instruments. The piano, the electric guitar, finger cymbals on the song For You. 27 instruments. Was known as an especially electrifying live performer. And again, I never appreciated his music or anything. I just from the age limit or time, I don't know. I was too old or too young or size. I don't know.
He did the double album, Sign of the Times. I think he did almost every instrument. But some of his albums he had musicians on. He had a band.
But on that one particular one, he played all 27 himself.
He's amazing. He had much more talent than Michael Jackson. I'm sorry. He was much more talented.
He wasn't. I don't think he was known for that. And again, that's probably my own bias that I knew a lot more about Michael Jackson than I did about Prince. That just may be the timing of it.
That was the media.
5.
And Michael Jackson, he pretty much did everything for the masses.
Yeah.
And Prince, it started out, he was very raunchy. He was very
again, I had no clue even who he was until some other time ago. Anyway, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. There we go. Let's see. Jeez, we got some. Oh, okay. All right, riddle me this, Batman. How is it possible? And again, I don't have more information on the story. And if we get more, we'll try to. You're going to sniff my pens? Time to get to the
That's
old.
not a euphemism either.
Kristi Noem. Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, with her family, the grandparents, the kids, and everything, at a restaurant in Washington, D.C. last night. Kristi Noem apparently at some point during the dinner felt something brush her leg or her coat or something while she was sitting there and thought it was one of the grandkids running around and didn't think anything of it. Later on, it turned out to be maybe that could have been a thing. Because while Kristi Noem was having dinner with her family in Washington, D.C. last night, some white man wearing a mask stole her purse.
White man.
Kristi Noem the Department of Homeland Security Chief, Kristi Noem, had her purse stolen from her chair while she was sitting there with her family by a guy wearing a mask. In the purse was not only her keys, her passport, her driver's license, and her DHS badge, but also $3,000 in cash and all kinds of personal documents. Gone. And they apparently the Secret Service, which is supposed to be protecting her, noticed later in security video or something that a guy was, picked it up and walked away.
What do they do?
I can't believe
What are we
it.
paying them to do? How can someone get that close to her?
I mean, sir, I can't believe it. And I don't have any more information. That's all we know. That's it.
They're
Somebody
useless.
stole her purse and walked away.
The Secret Service is useless.
Whole family out there, a purse on her. And by the way, I can't explain it. I'm flabbergasted.
He could have walked up and shot her.
I'm flabbergasted. Stole her purse while she was there at dinner with her whole family. How come nobody said, that guy just, took your purse? I mean, how could nobody? Honestly, I can't believe it. I just can't believe it.
These damn white people.
Well, now were they in a private? I don't know the geography of the restaurant or whether they were in an alcove where nobody would notice and it was in a different. I don't
think
I
the
don't know.
douchebag is still walking around with a surgical mask on? Someone would have gone, look at that guy.
It's amazing. All right, and the other story, we're gonna get more on the Pope thing here, come up a little bit later on. But the other story, which is going nuts now, more Democratic congressmen from America are already gone to El Salvador. El Salvador. They're doing a field trip. That's for the White House to say the Democrats are taking a field trip to El Salvador to help their gangbanger, their MS-13 gangbanging wife beater in El Salvador, who's now been transferred to a really cool prison where he gets his own room and he gets a bed and they're treating him really nice now.
At best, he's a wife beater. At best.
And you're going to hear a soundbite, which I think you'll find astounding here in just a moment. 4 more Congress people from America, California, Florida, Arizona, and Oregon, are in El Salvador trying to get Donald Trump to bring him back their gangster. They want their gangster back. And Donald Trump says lunatic Democrats and their comrades in the fake news media falsely making this guy Garcia out to be a very sweet, innocent person, which is a dangerous lie. Violent killer gang MS-13 in our country illegally under deportation order. And if nothing, the Democrats say this is a constitutional crisis. They love that phrase. They bring that all the time. That he's being held illegally in El Salvador. That's where he's from, by the way. So,
he is home.
Yeah, he's home. He was repatriated with his original family. Now, here's the other thing. The Justice Department, as you know, we talked about this last week, has got domestic violence proof from his wife, Jennifer Vasquez, including documents where she filed a restraining order against him because he beat the crap out of her. And now the Democrats are doing all they can to try to humanize as though this is a total innocent thing and she didn't really mean it and it was just a sign of the times or whatever. So this wife was on with Michael Strahan on
Good Morning America.
Michael Strahan, the former football star, who's now a media celebrity, and shame on him for you're about to hear a very short part of the interview. Now, I didn't see it, but I've heard it, and you're going to hear he's going to ask the question, which is awkward at best, and he didn't do it the right way. But again, he's not a hard driving Sam Donaldson, Mike Wallace news guy. He's a whole TV celebrity guy, so he couches it a lot. But then this is not edited. This was actually what happened, and it must have been like a deer in the headlights where she's all of a sudden confronted on what she has to say. So, Chris, if you would, this is the soundbite from Michael Strahan actually bringing up the issue of being a battered wife by the gangbanger's wife on ABC television. Yes, sir, right here.
I have to ask it. You did take out a temporary order of protection against your husband in 2021. Were you in fear of your husband?
My husband is alive. That's all I can say.
Okay. Then I'm not going to push on that, apparently.
Why not?
What do you mean you're not going to push? What did she even say?
She said, my husband is alive. That's all I can say.
Again, if nothing else, he's a wife beater, and he was here illegally. Okay. One, he's here Illegally, too. He's a wife beater. We know he's a gangbanger. And by the way, for the record, when they pulled him over originally, he was caught by investigators. He was pulled over by Tennessee state troopers. No driver's license. It wasn't his car. He had no registration for it. He claimed it was his boss's, and he didn't speak very good English, and with no license. And the people in the car were unknown, and it was clear the Tennessee State Police said, this is obviously a human trafficking case. There was no luggage in the car. He was driving with an expired license. And he's an MS-13 gangbanger. The 2 different courts have ruled that. So, he's a human trafficker, which we pretty much guaranteed is true. He was driving the humans into America. Okay, they were in the car. He was driving the car with the people in it. Okay, that 1, illegally 2, and somehow they let him go 3, and he's a wife beater 4, and now he's back where he belongs in El Salvador, and they want him back. Again, the 4 more American Democratic Congress people went to El Salvador to bring back their gang-banging wife beater.
I guarantee you, if they let him back in here and let him out, within 2 years, she's calling 911 about something horrible happening. He'll beat her again. We've got enough wife beaters. We don't need to import them.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if his own gang turns on him for bringing all this publicity down to the MS-13 people. They'll probably have him killed.
We can only hope.
I mean, it's freaking outrageous. I mean, seriously, just astounding to me.
The Democrats are doubling down on this.
They're doing a field trip to go get their gangbanger. I mean, taking a field trip to El Salvador. Always wanted to go see El Salvador. Boy, I hear it's really nice this time of year.
Road trip.
Oh, my God. Yeah, take Daddy's Lincoln. Oh, my God. All right, 3:30. Give her Pete and Chris in for Flounder on 106.3. How's your Monday? Braves in town, too. Look out. Here we go. Oh, man.
Extra 106.3 is Atlanta's home for NASCAR, and we have live races every weekend from across the country. Check out extra1063.com for the full schedule and join us this weekend for live NASCAR action.
May in the A is upon us, and the month is packed with 5 exciting matchups and 6 must-have giveaways. The Dodgers and Reds come to Truist Park May 2nd through the 8th, and the homestand includes the Ozzie Albies Go Fish Cards giveaway presented by Visit Curacao on May 4th, followed by the Braves Race Car giveaway presented by Napa on May 6th. The first homestand closes out with everyone's favorite closer, Raisel Iglesias, and his bobblehead giveaway presented by Northside Hospital on May 8th. Then the Nationals come to town May 12th through the 15th. On the 14th, fans will receive the Marcell Ozuna bobblehead presented by Delta, and yes, his head and arms bobble. And May in the A continues with a series against the Padres May 23rd through the 25th, featuring back-to-back giveaways like a bucket hat built by the Home Depot on the 24th and Kids Visor on the 25th. Find all of the fun this May at Braves.com/promos. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Okay, you're driving along. Suddenly you hear that horrible sound of metal and crunching. It's an accident. Even if it's a little minor fender bender, man, that could be a nightmare. First, obviously, take care of yourself. But before you make a deal with an insurance company or anybody else, call David Van Sant with Van Sant Law. You know why? Because he used to work for the insurance company, so he knows how to get the right settlement and right away. Van Sant Law. Don't forget, if you don't get paid, they don't get paid. Protecting your interests. Insurance is great, but it's complicated. 855-GA-INJURY or vansantlaw.com.
Hey, this is Tom from The Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay plus a disclosed fee. Guaranteed. Honesty is the best policy, and we guarantee it. Finally, a pre-owned car and truck buying process that you can trust.
Get an honest car buy from The Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit honestcarguy.com.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes. After that transformation, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
The future of business in Georgia is bright, and Georgia Power is a driving force behind the businesses and organizations that are vital to the growth of the state. Just ask Mike Plant, President and CEO of the Braves Development Company.
There's 7 power cubicles that power the ballpark and the battery. And when we're building everything with 8 different contractors and this site's on fire, one of my guys came in one day and said, hey, we need to figure out where we're going to put these cubicles. I said, all right, what do they do? They said, well, it's all the power and the juice for the whole stadium. We're going to need to work with Georgia Power. They need a location. Right away, they saw our vision, they got our vision, they understood it, and they knew they needed to be a big part of that. And that's what I love about working with them is I've never heard no from them. I've always heard them say, all right, I understand your vision, I understand what you're trying to accomplish. Give us a little time, we'll come back to you with a plan.
To learn more about how Georgia Power is helping businesses big and small, visit GeorgiaPower.com and tune in all year to discover how they're powering the future of Georgia.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 3 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffers from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. We provide testosterone replacement therapy, the P-shot, and treatment for ED, PE, and Peyronie's disease. There's not just one therapy that can solve these complex issues. When you visit our clinic, you're going to see me. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. 404-777-1911. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. 404-777-1911. Online at tbtofga.com. The Morning Extra. Starting your day the right way. Weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
Every single day, I'm waiting on my Trump victory because every single day there's something that occurs where I just go, that got him. And that's the weird part about what's going on.
Can I give you something that might be today? This was in the New York Times, and it says Trump's new deputy FBI director has it out for the, quote, scumbag commie libs.
Yes.
That's exactly right. She didn't write that headline for us. She has no idea that that's exactly what we voted for and exactly what we wanted to hear. She has no idea, dude.
She's busy thinking that's some sort of detriment.
Yes, of course. She thinks.
I am an idiot going, yes.
No, you're not an idiot. See, that's the thing. She's the idiot. That's why everything is trending in the right direction.
He hates communist scum. All right, pretty cool.
Yeah, count me in.
Sounds good, brother. I'm right there behind you.
I love that idea. Dan Bongino, thank you.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is Extra 106.3.
Look out now. AC/DC coming. Phil Rudd, their drummer, said, okay, I'm guilty. Sorry, I wish I hadn't done it. Phil Rudd changed his plea, a charge of threat to kill somebody in New Zealand. Rudd was unhappy about his album's launch party and asked for a former employee to be taken out. He tried to deny it, but, people heard it and everything. Phil Rudd pleaded guilty to smoking weed and methamphetamine possession. He had fired a number of employees the August before in 2015 after the launch of his album, Head Job. Oh, sorry. Edit that up.
Run that by the censor before you go.
I think before I speak it in. Our birthday list includes, and this has really been troubling me, and it's going to drive me nuts until someone can straighten me out here. Andie MacDowell is 67. Andie MacDowell is a very attractive former model, and she's a brunette. You've probably seen her very smiling, pretty face before. Andie MacDowell is 67. She did L'Oreal commercials. She was a model. She was in The Legend of Tarzan, and she was in Sex, Lies, and Videotape. What?
Groundhog Day.
And Groundhog Day. Andie MacDowell is 67. I swear I saw her when she was doing a commercial for L'Oreal or somebody, and she was like laying on her side or something and a pair of jeans or something, and she said, I swear one day I'm going to visit Atlanta. Was that Andie?
I've never heard that before. Never heard that.
And I'm thinking, I couldn't. It wouldn't have been Brooke Shields. The vision of Brooke Shields saying nothing comes between me and my Calvins, but I think it was Andy McDowell. And I swear, somebody said, and I remember one day I'm going to make it to visit Atlanta. I'm finally going to see Atlanta. Something like that with Atlanta.
Boy, she gonna be disappointed.
Anyway, yeah. And again, this was years ago, but again, I think it was Andy McDowell, and I can't find it, and I don't know when it's driving me nuts. Sorry. And now, something you'll really enjoy. And by the way, Groundhog Day was a very cute movie. And again, I never saw it. I saw a couple of minutes of it, and then finally a couple of years ago, I guess I did watch it, and it was really delightful. I liked the ending of it, and it was really a clever movie. And there were parts of Groundhog Day.
Oh, yes, it was.
With Bill Murray and and Andy McDowell and the whole crew. Anyway. On this day in 1865, a train carrying the coffin of assassinated President Abraham Lincoln leaves Washington, D.C., going to Springfield. He'd be buried in May. Traveled through 180 cities, 7 states. At each stop, Lincoln's coffin was taken off the train, placed on an elaborately decorated horse-drawn hearse, and led by solemn processions to a public building for viewing in every single stop.
Open casket?
In cities as large as Columbus, Ohio, as small as Herkimer, New York, famous for its cheese, by the way. You ever heard of Herkimer cheese?
No, I haven't.
I have. Grew up as a kid. Herkimer cheese is very cheddary, very, very tangy.
Try and focus on the death of a president here.
Herkimer, New York. Thousands of mourners flocked to pay tributes to the slain president. Lincoln's body lay in state in the East Wing of Independence Hall, the same site where the Declaration of Independence was signed. Newspapers said people had to wait 5 hours to pass by his coffin. The train was dubbed the Lincoln Special. His portrait was fastened to the front of the engine above the cattle guard. 300 people accompanied Lincoln's body on the journey of 1,654 miles, including his eldest son, Robert. Also on that train, a coffin containing the body of Lincoln's son, Willie, who died in 1862 at age 11 from typhoid. Willie's body had been disinterred from Washington so he could be buried alongside his father at the family plot in Springfield. And unfortunately, the train, which was kept as a treasure, was destroyed by a prairie fire near Minneapolis in 1911. And it was the train that carried Lincoln's body to its final resting place and now gone forever.
It's 1,000 miles.
1,654 miles.
Because it's only 783 miles from Springfield, Illinois to Washington, D.C. They must have gone all up and down.
Yeah.
Crisscross.
Yeah, they did. Man, what a... I mean, again, they took his body off every time and had a ceremony with the whole deal. I mean, wow. Let's see, 341. And Pope Francis, dead, age 88. And again, I was this morning when I woke up, boom, hit my phone when I opened up my phone. And I was so shocked because he was just seen. He was so proud of being on Easter Sunday. He was alive and doing his Easter Sunday thing. And then all of a sudden he died. And then I got to thinking, holy moly. I mean, I said the word holy. Is this the God let him say, do your Easter thing and then, it's time now. And I mean, you had to... I had to feel this was something special, maybe, he was 88 years old. That's the other thing. He had been dying for a very long time for pneumonia, and then what? The final cause is what? You mentioned him earlier. He had a
cerebral hemorrhage, went into a coma, and then a heart attack.
Yeah. So obviously, he was 88 years old, and he'd been sick for a long. In fact, he had pneumonia when he was a young boy or a young man, and lost part of his lungs. He had his lung taken out. So he had been, suffering from asthma-type breathing problems for a long time, and then got pneumonia.
So the thing is now, is it going to be the first American pope, first African pope,
first black,
a conservative pope like John Paul II, and the guy came after him? Because this guy was left.
Yeah. Well, in fact, just for the record, again, I am not Catholic. Pete and I are both ordained ministers, by the way.
True.
I am the most dangerous minister in America, so dubbed many years ago.
But Chris is looking like, you two are so full of crap. I have a card carrying...
I got it right here in my pocket.
Here. We'll show.
World Christian Ship Church.
That's right. Harvest
for another $50, I could have been a bishop. So, a little respect. I got Rocco on the phone. Hey, Rocco, you on the radio, man? What's up?
Hey, what's going on, Cameron?
Yeah, man, what's happening?
I got a couple questions about Van Hollen's visit to that prison
El
down
Salvador.
in
The bad
Salvador.
part. Yeah, he's moved now. Yeah.
And, I work in a prison, and there's a couple things that people don't even realize when they look at that video of what they're seeing.
Yeah.
One thing is, in a jail or prison, you don't have glass anything.
Yeah, right. That would break,
glass.
shatter,
It could be
or hard plastic,
in your sock, in your hat.
Yeah.
It could be used as a weapon very easily. So nothing is glass.
Yeah.
So where did they get those glass cups?
Yeah. Well, they were brought by a staff aide or something to make it look good, I guess.
So it's all a setup.
Yeah.
This is all kind of like a. We're going to film a video here. This is not a real deal.
Yeah.
Also, my next question is: will Van Hollen's next visit to that jail be a conjugal visit?
I mean, it's just so in the White House. They said, "Oh, boy, they're taking field trips now. The Democrats are taking their field trips to El Salvador because 4 more Congress people went down."
Please do it. Keep going. That's all the more commercials in 2020. Next year, we're going to have commercials featuring all those people that went down there.
Yep, and it's going to be just like when Donald Trump had the video of Carmela's side piece, and you're talking about free operations for tranny criminals, and they said she's for they and them, and Donald Trump is for you, and this is going to be the same thing. And again, the same way those Democrats sat on their hands when Trump did the State of the Union address too, and shamed them while they sat there like stone. Again, just they're asking for it. So anyway, good points, Rocco. I appreciate it, man. Thanks. 3:45 already. Holy cow. Kim Rapine and Christopher Flounder, 404-741-1230 if you want to join us. And we'll talk more about the socialist pope. And again, I wonder whether that's going to rebound. And I guess we're going to find out how conservative the Catholic Church these days might be, and whether they want to continue the trend of women and gays and, gay marriage.
The church, another Catholic church gets burned in Ireland. The church is under attack. They're killing the Christians in Nigeria. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah. Coming up, Kim Rapine, Christopher Flounder, 3:45 right here.
Start your day with Tug and Los on the Morning Extra from 6 to 10. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck at noon, and the Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. And hang out every night for Jesse Kelly at 6 and Jimmy Fela at 9. And stream it all live in crystal clear HD on the Extra 106.3 app.
A lot of us have a 401k, but many of us don't know what we should do with them as we get closer to retirement. I'm here with Evan Ward of Atlas Retirement. And Evan, what would you personally recommend?
Well, Kevin, what we recommend is when you separate service from your employer or when you turn 59 and a half, you need to look at what your options can be, because within a 401k, you're getting payroll deduction, you're getting a handful of different options, but it's very limited because a 401k is a one-size-fits-all for everybody in your company. Well, what we do when we have options to go outside the 401k, even while you're still employed, you can continue to contribute, but you can move those into different and better options than what you have within your 401k. And so we want to be able to run our 401k x-ray, be able to show you exactly what it is you are doing within your portfolio, and then see what your options are outside of that to improve your circumstance.
Because, Evan, let's be honest, retirement, this is not a one-size-fits-all answer, right? These are individual, personalized plans you're going to put together. Everybody's situation is going to be different, right?
Of course. And so, the 401k gives you a limited set of options because that is what has to be available to the client. But outside of your 401k, you have thousands of options that are often a lot more custom and tailor-made to your personal needs.
If you'd like more details, pick up the phone and call Evan Ward today and the team at Atlas Retirement. They are standing by to answer your questions. 678-736-7799. 678-736-7799. Pick up that complimentary 401k x-ray, or you can get more details online today. It's atlasretirement.net. That's atlasretirement.net. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. You know, a great smile can make you more successful as well as make you happy. Yes, it's true. And your smile's waiting for you at my dentist, Dr. Dina Giesler, my friend for 30 years and dentist forever. This woman at Atlanta Smiles, atlantasmiles.com, the dentist with the doggy. It's really true, whether it's just regular cleaning or bridges or crowns or are your teeth bothering a little bit, maybe a little ache or something, or your gums it's not going to get better on its own. Take it from me, I found that out the hard way. Taking care of your teeth and gums, and everybody's happy. And by the way, you can relax with Dr. Dina. This is an individual, private VIP experience. The latest technology. She used AI to get my last thing done at my last visit. And don't forget the doggy. She's a little doggy to take a nap in your lap while you're getting your work done. And this staff, these ladies are angels, I promise you. You'll love going there. A veteran herself, Dr. Dina, 10% veterans discount off the top. Tell them when you call. 404-262-7733. Your smile's waiting. Get the doggy at atlantasmiles.com.
An investment in your home is something that will pay off in the future, but it's something that you can enjoy right now. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. A beautiful new garage door, entry doors, and windows are an investment you can love every day, and they will increase your home's value, energy efficiency, and curb appeal. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and high-quality work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check them out online at atlturfco.com.
Attention Warriors, are you a veteran ready to navigate to success after service? Tune in to the Warrior Alliance Network. Join us as we spotlight inspiring stories, provide essential resources, and connect you with a community dedicated to empowering veterans. From career advice to health and wellness tips, the Warrior Alliance Network is your go-to hub for post-service success. Tune in Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. on Extra 106.3. Join us on the mission, the Warrior Alliance Network, where warriors thrive together. Visit us at thewarrioralliance.org for more information.
Oh, look out. Yo. Screaming at our attention. 351. Kimmer Pete Chris in for Flounder. And on this day in 2007, Doris Richards passed away from cancer. She was 91 years old, the mother of Rolling Stones guitarist Keith Richards. She had bought her son his first guitar when he was 15. Keith Richards learned chords from her father, Gus Dupree, a musician who instilled Keith Richards with an early passion for music. And his mom, Doris, passed away in 2007, cancer, 91 years old. Now, I don't know what song is this, Chris. I have no idea what this is. Pete, you know what this is.
Sympathy for the Devil.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Well, I could name you. I could name you like 4 Rolling Stone songs that I listen to that I like. All right, go. Not Fade Away. What's their famous?
That's not
one?
their song, though. But anyway, it's a remake. Yeah, they did cover.
Satisfaction.
Yeah. 2. 1.5, actually. I just told you 1.
Well,
you don't like it, though. You don't like
I don't like it.
I'm not a big fan of that song.
All right.
Jumpin' Jack Flash.
Jumpin' Jack
Brown
Flash.
Sugar.
Brown Sugar. That was
Wild Horses.
Wild Horses. Those 4
Emotional
right there.
Rescue.
Emotional Rescue. That's 5. I just named 5. So, get off my back. Our birthday list includes, oh, by the way, a special birthday surprise. And Chris got it. I can't freaking believe it. Flounder, if you're listening, baby, this is really showing above and beyond.
What are you saying?
No, I'm just saying.
Shots fired?
No. All right. Well, he's the one who took the day off. I'm sorry. Play golf. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, he's got to. It's good, though. It's good. I should do that with Mrs. Flounder. I'm all in favor of it. James McAvoy is 46. James McAvoy was Lord something or other in his Dark Materials, Professor X in 4 X-Men movies, Bill in It Chapter 2, the guy with multiple personalities in Split, the Unbreakable sequel Glass, but I remember him in Wanted with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah. James McAvoy, 46. And in fact, that was Morgan Freeman was in that too, played a bad guy in that one.
He played what do you call it, a satyr? You're half goat, half man.
Satyr.
Is that a satyr?
A satyr, S-A-T-I-R, I think.
In
it's
the
a
Narnia thing.
Yeah. And by the way, I mentioned earlier, I said, I swear, I'm all this holy, I know that I saw Andie MacDowell doing a commercial because she was a model and doing a commercial in L'Oreal, and it's something about one day I swear I'm going to see Atlanta. And everybody's looking at me like an idiot. And then Chris, all of a sudden, pops. This is unbelievable. Chris, tell the little people what you did, sir. What we have here.
Well, all I did was type in Andie MacDowell commercials in there, and a few popped up. And then I looked up those specific companies that she did, found those commercials, and listened to them until I found that exact quote that you just said.
And here now is a little bit, I think it was a minute long. We don't play the whole thing, but here's part of the commercial of Andie MacDowell apparently saying what I thought I heard many years ago. Hey, please play.
Dot and Earl, they got this dream.
Calvin Klein jeans.
They've been saving up, and all I hear all the time is someday, we're gonna see Atlanta.
It was Calvin Klein jeans, and I got that mixed up with the little girl from the Lagoon Blue movies. Brooke Shields. But isn't that amazing? My mind had Calvin Klein laying down, and it was Andie MacDowell, and I thought, well, I got that backwards. But again, someday we're going to see Atlanta. How cool is that? And now, did it say what year that was? It probably doesn't have the year it was done. It's got to be 50 years ago.
No, that one did not say the year.
Not 50 years ago.
Well,
she was big in the 90s.
Well, she's 67. She was probably 20, so it's probably 40 years ago.
It was around the 80s, because I have another commercial that she did with L'Oreal, and she looks basically the same, so I'll go with around the 80s.
Well, yeah, so it's got a good 45 years ago.
And her daughter, she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She was the little girl that got in the car with Brad Pitt and took him to the ranch. She's a good look. Yeah. She's a good actress.
Cool. Anyway, thank you, Chris. That was pretty cool. So that was kind of. Now, let's do one more thing. We got a Flounders Funny coming up, but I think we have time for this. Pete found this, an incredible story. If you've ever known twins, see whether this makes any sense to you and whether it fits. 2 Australian identical twins, Bridget and Paula Powers, were doing a news interview. They were recounting how their mother was caught up in a horrible armed carjacking, and their stolen SUV was flipped over, and they're doing an interview on TV. These are twins. Listen to how twins are being interviewed telling the same story. Chris,
and one guy, he was up there with our mum. And he went up there, and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, "Run! He's got a gun!" And our heart started to pound, and I said, "Oh, Mum, where's Mum?" And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, "Are you all right?" Because he had all blood all over his face.
They're doing the same.
"I'll shoot you." She goes, "Hey, I'm here to help." And Mum distracted him to make him look the other way, and he looked the other way, and Mum ran into the bush behind the fence.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Weird.
And by the way, they have synchrony. Their lifelong bond. They sleep in twin beds together, wear identical clothes, and share a single phone. What's going to happen when they living together like that? What's going to happen when one of them dies? Are they going to die the same instant? I mean, this really freaks me out.
They don't look like they're married either.
They're living together. And, it's freaky. And they did the same. It's like they're reading a script.
I know, and they weren't.
It was a live interview. Anyway, I've got time for Flounders Funny. Let's do a little Flounders Funny here. Chris and Kevin Pete and Chris in for Flounder Day. Those Australian twins, by the way. May play that.
If you don't know what you're doing, like in a sport, or you're just starting, be honest. You know? Hey, I've never won water skiing before, and I suck. Should I go? No, you shouldn't. No. All right, thanks for the honesty. Appreciate it. Like, I went on vacation once. I met up with a bunch of people, and they were like, hey, you want to go jet skiing tomorrow? And I'd never been jet skiing in my life, and I should have said that. But I was like, yeah, I'll go. I'm good. They're like, all right, great. Meet us here tomorrow. So I meet him there the next day. They all had their own jet skis. They're like, where's your jet ski? I forgot it. I forgot mine. Now I got to rent one, which is even worse because you get a piece of garbage when you rent. And they're all bragging about theirs, right? Yeah, this is a Kawasaki KZ 9000 Wave Humper. Got the Humper, huh? Cool, yeah. I got a gray one. I'll be on the gray one. It says rental with a big number 8 on the back. I'll be riding the bowling shoe out there. I'll be on the shoe. They all take off. They're like, yeah. They're like gunning. I'm like, all right. She's pegged. You know how embarrassing it is to wipe out going 0? No.
Who's that? Chris.
It's Kevin James.
That's Kevin. I didn't recognize, but he's a way funnier guy than I ever thought he was.
That show wasn't that funny.
The show was not that. I never watched it because it just didn't appeal to me as anything, out loud type funny. He's a very funny guy.
He's funny in the movies with Adam Sandler, where they're grown-ups movies.
Is that like The Hangover?
The Chris Rock and they're having
I don't think I've ever
school
seen
reunions.
Yeah.
They're funny.
Yeah, well done. Anyway,
Selma Hayek's in it too, by the way.
Oh gosh, she may be perfect. She may be, and still to this moment, may be absolutely perfect. Oh no! I was trying to 4 o'clock. No, I was trying 4 o'clock.
Good night, everybody.
I gotta. I'm leaving. Oh my God.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
Word now, the cause of death. I'm Tom Rigotti, Fox News. The Vatican has released the cause of death for Pope Francis after he died early this morning at the age of 88. Fox's Alex Hogan reports.
He had a stroke early this morning. He went into a coma. He had a heart attack and later died. Pope Francis was 88 years old. The Vatican announced this news of his passing at 7:30 this morning. He had battled with health concerns for years, including being hospitalized for 5 weeks earlier this year when he came down with pneumonia. Today, his death came as a shock to much of the world, especially after the very busy schedule that he had yesterday, meeting with Vice President J.D. Vance here, as well as speaking to the faithful.
Francis decreed in his will he be buried in St. Mary Major Basilica in Rome in a simple underground tomb. President Trump is ordering flags flown at half-staff.
Flags on military bases and federal buildings will fly at half-staff through internment of Pope Francis, President Trump has ordered.
He was a good man, worked hard. He loved the world, and it's an honor to do that.
Vice President J.D. Vance met with Francis at the Vatican on Easter Sunday, one of the Pope's final public events. In a statement, Vance says he will always remember Pope Francis for the homily he gave in the very early days of COVID, calling it really quite beautiful. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is being accused of using another Signal group chat to discuss attacks on Yemen's Houthi rebels. White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt tells Fox News the New York Times report is false.
They are lying about the Secretary of Defense. Let me reiterate, no classified information was shared in these chats. But you do have leakers who are leaking classified information, which is a crime.
The Times says its reporting is based on 4 sources with knowledge of the chat. America's listening to Fox News.
When you hear the term living better, what do you think about? More money? A bigger house? Maybe a yacht? What about how you feel physically? How you wake up each day? How you sleep? What activities you can and cannot do? When you feel good, life is good. So if pain is affecting your life, see how Relief Factor can help. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, it doesn't just mask pain temporarily. It helps reduce or even eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So give their 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call, 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're hurting, in 3 weeks or even days, Relief Factor can give you a chance to rediscover the true meaning of living better again. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Now this dramatic pause.
That's great. It starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes, an airplane. Lenny Bruce is not afraid.
Oh, it's a drum beat there.
Listen to yourself, churn world serves its own needs. Dummy serve your own needs. Beat it up an ox, speed, grunt, no strength. The ladder starts to clatter with fear. Fight down, high wire in a fire. Represented 7 games in the government for hire in the combat site. Left to us and coming in a hurry with the furies breathing down your neck.
Look out. Kimmer, Pete, and Chris in for Flounder today. On this day in 2001, REM guitarist Peter Buck was charged by the police at Heathrow Airport with being drunk on an aircraft and assaulting the British Airways crew. End of the world for that moment. Peter Buck taken into custody, landing on a flight from Seattle and questioned by police for 12 hours.
What?
12 hours for being drunk and disorderly on an airplane. That seems a little much.
Yeah. Come on.
Anyway, phone calls take priority at 404-741-1230. Rawls, you're on the phone, man. What's going on? Welcome aboard.
Hey, Kimmer. I don't know if you guys believe in predictions. I don't even know if I should believe it or not. But since I was a little kid, I heard about prediction after John Paul II.
Yes.
That after him, there's going to be one pope that is going to be really short. Then there's going to be another one, and the third one is going to be a black pope. So I don't know if it's going to be a black pope, but today in the morning on Fox News, I even heard that people were thinking about the same thing because there's some stuff going on in Africa. So I would not be surprised.
No, it's true. In fact, I right now in front of us on Fox News app, on the news app thing, they're in fact featuring an African black pope and talking about it. And I mean, who knows? I mean, the whole thing is so mysterious. And by the way, the reaction of the Pope dying the day after he made an appearance in Easter. I don't know. So many things that may not be explainable, but you could be right. And again, I wouldn't be surprised either. And I guess it's going to take them. How long does it take to get the new pope? It could be like 20 days. I think it's within 2 weeks or something.
Yeah,
probably a couple weeks. Anyway, thank you. Good observation, Ross. I really appreciate it. 406. Kimmer, Pete, and Chris for Flounder.
Saint Malachi from Ireland traveled to Rome. This is in the 12th century. He was a bishop. Now he's a saint.
Yeah.
And when he got there, he went into a fit, and he started naming the popes. And supposedly 112 or something like that, and that this damn thing has just stopped talking to me here a second. Hold on a second. That he would say how many there was left before the end of the world. And he said there's one more supposed to be after Francis.
Oh.
One more. No, there'd be one more after Benedict.
Well, that was Pope Francis.
Was this guy.
Yeah. And again, Benedict retired because I've heard him talking about this basically because he couldn't handle the job. There were too many things going on. And there was, all the issues, the gay rights and the women and the stuff and everything. What?
All right, here's what he said. In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will reign Peter the Roman, who will feed his flock amid many tribulations, after which the seven-hilled city will be destroyed, and the dreadful judge will judge the people. The end.
Oh, my.
Peter the Roman. So if they pick an Italian...
Oh, it's over.
And he says, my name's Peter.
Yeah. Well, then we should... wow, golly. Yeah. I don't really like the sound of that at all, I got to be honest with you. Let's see. Our birthday list includes Elaine May. Elaine May... she's 93 years old.
Still alive.
Elaine May and Mike Nichols were a comedy team of improv comedians, and they lasted forever. She was, there are so many bits and stuff that she and Mike Nichols had done together. Famous for their, they had improv classes and led to so many different kinds of comedians.
Screenplays. They wrote a lot of stuff.
Unbelievable.
He directed.
Yeah. And she's Elaine May is 93 years old, still going strong. Let's see. On this day in history, 1918, in a well-trafficked skies above the Somme River in France, Baron Manfred von Richthofen, the notorious German flying ace known as the Red Baron, is killed by Allied fire on this day in 1918. Son of a Prussian nobleman, he switched from the German army to the Imperial Air Service in 1915, terrorizing the Western Front skies in an Albatross biplane. He downed 15 enemy planes by the end of the year, including a British flying ace, Major Leno Hawker. Surpassed all the flying ace records on both sides of the war with his Fokker Air triplane, painted entirely red in tribute to his old cavalry regiment.
Is that how you pronounce it? Fokker?
Fokker, yes. F-O-K-K-E-R.
Sure.
It was only used in the last 8 months of his career, but it was the one in which he was most commonly associated, in the English nickname the Red Baron. Allied squadron led by Canadian captain pursued him, ventured too far into enemy territory, too low to the ground, 2 miles behind Allied lines. As the plane caught up with Richthofen and fired on him, the chase passed over an Australian machine gun battery, whose riflemen opened fire. Richthofen was hit in the torso. He managed to land his plane alongside the road from Corby to Bray near Salé de la Sac, dead by the time Australian troops reached him. The flyer, Roy Brown, is given credit for downing him, although they believe it was probably actually an Australian gunner on the ground who fired at him when they saw him.
Most of my life, they said it was a mystery. They don't know what happened to it. They don't know where the plane and the body went. And it was just a few years ago. They said, no, I think the Australians shot him down.
Yeah, he flew like too low over the aircraft battery or something. So, and they just looked, I mean, it was right there.
Maybe Snoopy got him.
1916, good Lord. Let's see, 409, Kimmer Pete and Flounder. Actually, Christopher Flounder, as I mentioned. The Boston Marathon was held today, and I think somebody set another record. Holy Crap at Sports is coming up later. I'm not sure that this is really even qualified as a sports thing. It's an event.
It is a sport.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's not. However, when it's Patriots Day in Boston, and of course we all know about the explosion of the bombs and stuff on the Boston Marathon. But it's Patriots Day in Boston, the 129th annual Boston Marathon. And here's what's going on. People are complaining about this in Boston now because runners can now qualify for slots in the race in one of 3 different categories: men, women, and non-binary. However, for the record, the official qualifying time, if you're a woman, is a full 30 minutes slower than the men's qualifying time because men are faster, as we know, and therefore men are not the same as women, for the record. Now, the non-binary category uses the women's qualifying time because they could be either male or female. And since it was introduced, the non-binary, both winners have been men. Therefore, it's very, and the marathon is now allowed today, a man to compete in the women's division. Because he claims he's a man. Her name is Rhea Susling, born a man named Robert Hua Young, a longtime runner, competed in the female category 300 times since 2009, medaled in his age group 140 times. He displaced a deserving woman every time he stood atop the podium and displaced many. So now you can have men running against men running against women, and men running in the binary. So you can have 3 different genders, and a man can win all 3. Now, you tell me that makes any freaking sense. You tell me that that's America. You tell me that these Democrats aren't freaking crazy. A man could win all 3 genders.
It's a fad. I can't wait till this fad crests and starts to fade.
I mean, my God. I mean, seriously. All 3 could be won by men.
Can we bring back shunning like the Amish do? Just shun these freaks.
Just ignore them. Don't
hire them. Don't give them anything. Don't help them. Don't rent them anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's really
and just come up with another excuse while you're doing it.
I mean, if you have a non-binary thing, that clearly the men are going to beat the women because it's men
9 times
women.
out of 10.
So now you got 3 categories, and a man could win all 3. Why would they allow men to run in the women's category if they have a non-binary?
Okay, why do we care, Kimmer?
I know.
If the women aren't going to stand up for themselves,
I know.
for every Riley Gaines, there's 100 liberal white women thinking that it's okay.
Every mother of a daughter or
it's
a father
their problem.
of a daughter.
It's not our problem.
And gay and lesbian on the whole tranny thing and the gender fixing. I mean, I can't believe there's not a freaking outrage.
Why aren't the women and the gay people up in arms about this?
I know.
Because they're destroying you.
That's right. And by the way, they're making it way more confusing. I mean, America's come to the realization that, gay is a thing. And, if you're born gay, it's because you don't decide when you're 9 whether you're going to be gay or straight. You're born how you're born. So that everybody's accepting of that. But all of a sudden now, I don't know what to make of trannies. And trannies are not... They don't want to be another I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
They want to be cool and famous. J.K. Rowling posted there's 10 of them standing outside of a ladies' bathroom intimidating women, young women who are going in there. But it's the crazies, the freaks that are claiming we're the victims. We're the ones that they're going after. No, you're the ones standing there intimidating young women who just want to go to the bathroom. You're the freaks.
Yeah. And again, the Boston Marathon could be won by all 3 categories of man. 14 minutes after 4 o'clock. Kimmer, Pete, and Chris in for Flounder on, you want to do some tweets?
Yes.
Let's do some tweets. Coming up next, Chris, on 106.3. Happy Monday. Braves are in town. St. Louis taking them on tonight here at the Battery. Look out. We'll see.
It's time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Okay, everybody, some Bortz bits. Just little tidbits I've collected over the last couple of days. Bill Clinton had 12.3 million deportations. George Bush, 10 million. Barack Obama, 5 million. Never an injunction filed. Donald Trump, 100,000 deportations, 30 injunctions. The Minneapolis Healthcare Network has determined and is mandating in videos for their employees that only black employees will ever be allowed to use the N-word. Anybody else, for any reason, you're fired. All of those demonstrations over the last couple of days against Donald Trump's policies, maybe it would be helpful, though the media won't report it, if you knew that most of those demonstrations were organized by socialist and communist organizations. One of those, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, is saying that if we had a 90% wealth tax, in other words, take away 90% of the wealth that millionaires and billionaires have, we could fund universal health care and all of these wonderful goodies. The Transformers are on a outrage bender in the United Kingdom, that's England, because the UK Supreme Court has ruled that a woman is somebody who was born biologically female, and that does not include Transformers. The CEO of 2 imported Mexican beers, Modelo and Corona, complaining because Hispanic customers are hiding in their homes to avoid deportation and not coming out and buying enough beer. A federal district court judge out of San Francisco has ordered that Jesus Christ should be apprehended and sent right back to that tomb. Oh, I'll end up paying for that one. Time for me to leave. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Longer days mean more time to tackle what really matters, like your home's exterior. From roofing and siding to gutters and windows, Southern Exteriors offers quality and precision you can count on. Right now, get 10% off any job or take advantage of 12 months 0% financing. Hey, it's Tug, and I know the folks at Southern Exteriors. They're the kind of people I trust to work on my own home, and you should too. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co today. 877-9-SOUTHERN or southernexteriors.co.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Yeah, we know life is unpredictable, but protecting your family's future doesn't have to be. How about the health insurance doctor's named Stephen? He can make life insurance simple and affordable plans designed to fit your budget and your needs. Term life, whole life, universal life, final expense coverage. The health insurance doctor customizing the perfect plan for you and your loved ones for the unexpected. Don't wait for it. Stephen, the health insurance doctor. Here's the number, 678-523-0759. Or visit him on the web, protecting what matters most, healthinsuranceDoctor.net. Here we go. Look out now. It's only the Kimmer 417 and Holy Crap of Sports coming up. Tweets coming up here, too, in just a moment. Also, coming up, another visit to Atlanta Smiles. Dr. Dina Geisler, my official Kimmer dentist. And again, I get the biggest kick out of this place. This is the happiest darn doctor's office and a dentist's office you've ever known in the history of your world, I promise you. Dr. Dina, of course, I've known her for 30 years or something. Is a family dentist. And the nice thing about this, it's almost Atlanta Smiles is like, that's her name of practice. It's like going to a dental spa. It's not one of those conveyor belt chain things that goes on like these big monster places that you don't know who the people are anymore. There's another guy dentist here too, a male. But these women who she has working for her are the sweetest, happiest, most smilingest women, nurturing nurse type people you've ever known. People smile going in there. I know one guy wants to go back 3 days a week just to get his teeth cleaned, just to talk to the nice people. I mean, it's the darndest thing you ever saw. And of course, don't forget the doggy. She actually has a little doggy named Zsa, who will take a nap in your lap, as she did for mine when I went there my last couple of visits, and put it on a video on Facebook. So anyway, that's beside the point. But the thing is, it's whether it's cleaning or veneers and cosmetic stuff or bridges and crowns or things like she had AI design a little thing here for the thing down the thing out there. They've got it all. Atlanta, and by the way, Dr. Dina was a former Navy vet. Dentist, and therefore veterans get 10% discount right off the top if you mention that when you call this number, 404-262-7733. They've got the doggy and your smile waiting for you, atlantasmiles.com.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
Atlanta Braves fans, May is Military Appreciation Month and a great time to show your patriotism by purchasing a VIP table at The Warrior Alliance 4th Annual Veteran Impact Awards and Gala. The event will be held on Thursday, May 22nd at the Coca-Cola Roxy Theater at the Battery Atlanta and features dining, live entertainment, and Georgia-based veterans being honored for the significant contributions they are making in our communities. Purchase your VIP table today or make a donation at thewarrioralliance.org.
True Prep, Atlanta's leading preparedness store, has two incredible deals going. The Smith & Wesson M&P 15 Sport 3 AR-15 for just $649, featuring a mid-length gas system, 15-inch M-Lock free-floating handguard, and a 30-round PMAG. Plus, get 1,000 rounds of check-made, brass-cased, box prime 223 ammo for only $399.99, or 20-round boxes for just $899 each. For directions, visit online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. True Prep. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Well, it's kind of weird. Kind of clashes with our program here. I don't know.
Darling, you got to let me know.
I got it. I got it. See what I did there?
Should I stay or
Should I go? 1982, The Clash.
You say that you are mine.
Their frontman, Joe Strummer,
I'll be here till the end of time.
disappeared for 3 weeks.
So you got to
He'd say he was gone. In 1982, Joe said, Astray just disappeared for 3 weeks. They had to cancel a tour. He was found living a kind of a rough life in Paris. I don't know what's going on there, but they weren't too happy about it. Let's see. Our birthday list includes Rob Riggle. You know Rob Riggle, if you saw him, 55. He was on Saturday Night Live quite a bit, Daily Show alum. He played the cop who tasered Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover in the face. The teacher forcing Dave Franco to sell drugs on 21 Jump Street. Rob Riggle is 55 years old.
Former Marine.
Former Marine. In fact, I was just reading about that. In fact, was he in what was I reading about him? Was he in Iraq or Afghanistan or something? I don't.
One of them, I think.
Yeah, I think so. On that, check this out. The way things used to be when Americans who became Americans, the new colonials, decided whether they would crack down on the things they were trying to flee and things they wanted to make anew. For example, on this day in 1649, the Maryland Toleration Act is passed by the Maryland legislature, 1649. It provided for toleration of various Christian denominations not previously allowed. It allowed for toleration of some denominations, but if you deny the divinity of Jesus Christ or blaspheme the Holy Trinity, you could be punished with death. Excuse me? Yeah. If you deny the divinity of Jesus, they can kill you and take your land. 1649, the act was repealed in 1654. So it's not still on the books. Otherwise, it could be a problem.
Well, now the federal government can take your land whenever they want to.
Exactly.
So
they don't necessarily be able to kill you when they want, but they can sure take your land. 4 o'clock hour brought to you by our friends at Atlanta Safe House, silly home of the Kimmer Safe. You need a safe, you know you need a safe, so go get yourself a safe, silly rabbit. And now, Chris, let's do this. 424, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder's off today with Mrs. Flounder doing a charity
sure he
golf tournament thing. So we have a little something here for you we like to call. Well, we got memes, we got jokes, we got one-liner. Oh, we saw Chris Sale and didn't even get an autograph. And now here's Pete's tweets. I can't believe it. He's standing right there in the bullpen, like 4 feet away from us, signing autographs. We're going, I wonder who that is. It was Chris Sale.
Yeah, without the baseball cap on, I'm like,
no way I knew who it was.
Yeah, we knew who it was. Alec points out that Bill Clinton deported 12 million people.
12 million. Yeah.
0 injunctions.
Yeah.
George W. Bush, 10 million deportations, 0 injunctions. Yeah. Barack Hussein Obama, 5 million deportations. How many injunctions did he have?
I think about 200.
0.
Oh, 0. That's right.
Donald J. Trump, 100,000 deportations, 30 injunctions.
Yeah. There you are.
Yep. It's law. It's lawfare. That's all it is. And if you think people in this, the generations growing up will not respect the judiciary.
Right.
They won't.
And they shouldn't. After what the history shows what happened in the last 8 years. Wow.
Yeah. Greg tweets, I'm just thankful the Pope was alive long enough to see Katy Perry land on the moon. And Shauna Katari is a professor at the University of Michigan.
All right, sir.
She's tatted up from stem to stern, would probably dress out about 250 pounds.
Oh, boy.
She's a big girl. She's a heifer.
Yeah.
Your tax dollars pay her salary. Here's her bio. Pronouns are they, them, theirs. Shauna is an associate professor at the School of Social Work in the Women's and Gender Studies Department by courtesy, it says. She's the director of the Sexuality, Relationship, and Gender Research Collective. She's a white, Jewish, non-binary, disabled, chronically ill, neurodivergent, polyamorous, queer, fat femme. Their practice and community background is as a board-certified sexologist, certified sexuality educator, and social justice activist. Kind of like the Pope was. But wait, there's more. Her bio continues. Katani's multi-methodological research focuses on 3 areas that often overlap: disability and ableism, including neurodivergence, MAD studies, and disability justice; sexuality and sexual health, including reproductive justice; and queer and trans-affirming practice in behavioral, physical, and sexual health spaces. And we're paying for this insanity.
Yeah. And she's bragging that she's in a wheelchair. She has like multicolored hair and is unidentifiable as
white, Jewish, non-binary, disabled, chronically ill, neurodivergent, polyamorous, queer, fat femme is how she describes herself.
She describes. Too bad she doesn't run into Nancy Mace once in a while. Have you ever seen this story about Nancy Mace?
Hey, at least her office is a safe space.
Yeah, no one else wants to go in there.
Should bring back what the Spartans used to do.
Would you go in there? Would you go to see this woman for advice of any kind? She's a sexologist.
Yeah.
Would you go to her? Look her up.
I'd leave her on the hillside for the vultures is what I'd do.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. I love this Nancy Mace. Every time she makes news, I just get all tingly. Republican Congresswoman, South Carolina, Nancy Mace. She was confronted during an encounter with a guy wearing Daisy Duke shorts. And she called him a whole bunch of things here. She was shopping she was at a makeup store over the weekend, and a constituent accused her of not doing enough town halls. Now, quickly in background, Republican members are getting heckled and yelled out during their town halls. The Democrats are now making it a thing. The Democrats are saying if a Republican holds a town hall, you have to go and protest. That's what happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene the other day. Remember that? Mm-hmm. They deliberately, if you're holding a town hall and you're a conservative, they're going to make your life miserable. Republicans don't do that to the Democrats, but the Democrats do that to Republicans.
We can start, though, can't we?
Start. We should definitely start, make their lives miserable. So that's what they're doing. So Nancy Mace was at this store, and this guy confronted her for not doing more town halls. And the guy says, I asked you if you were doing any this year. It was one simple question. As she begins filming the encounter she had with him, and Nancy Mace said, do you want to keep going? You want to keep harassing me? You could have gone to a dozen town halls last year. She's already done one this year, done about a dozen last year, plans to do plenty more, she said, and you're always invited. And then Nancy Mace says, and by the way, I voted for gay marriage twice. When the guy says, what's that got to do with anything? She says, it has everything to do with you. There's no other humane thing you can talk about me than to say, oh, I support gay marriage. That's a whole deal. The guy lamented. Nancy Mace shot back, yeah, because you're getting in my face about a town hall. You could have gone last year. The guy was about to move on, and Nancy couldn't hold back. Where were you before that or any year before that? Oh, you know what? Because you people on the left are crazy. You're absolutely franking crazy. And she didn't say franking. And get out of my face. Frank you. The guy starts walking away down the aisle from her and then chided that she's going to be voted out so fast next year or this year and calls her a disgrace to the state. And then he says F you back to her and bashes her as a nasty biatch. He declined to give his name when somebody tried to find out. So Nancy Mace walked away and says, blank you, buddy. You couldn't take me on, baby. Stay the blank away from me. Oh, God. She's perfect. The woman is perfect. She's just freaking perfect.
That's how you handle people like that.
Right.
Don't put up with it.
Right
no
in
more.
the kisser, baby. Just
no. Let them let them make contact first, and then you can sue them for everything they own.
Stand right up, just to right there,
and
right
then beat the hell out of them after they've hit you first.
That's right. Unbelievable.
And then take all their stuff.
By the way, I did not see Elizabeth Hurley's new boyfriend in the deck of cards in front of me today. I can tell you that right now.
What is she thinking?
I don't think there's a safe sewer, what do you call it? Soothsayer who could have figured out that.
Are you having a stroke?
I'm having a stroke. I'm a little minor, a little teeny one. Don't worry about it. If I drop, let me go. 4:30, Kipper P.
Do not resuscitate this man.
Just let me go. Just let me freaking go. Get out of here. See you. Get out. I'm gone. Probably.
Extra 106.3 has the biggest lineup of conservative voices all week, and we're loaded with live and local programming every weekend. The All Four Seasons Home Show, Back Your Blue, Ben Burnett, Janelle King, and NASCAR on Sundays. See the full weekend lineup at extra1063.com and stream it free on the Extra app.
Every time I take a drive in Atlanta area streets these days, I'm awfully glad I know who to call in case someone bangs into me. I don't know how many times, there are like 3 different places where people have to merge, and they know they're going to merge, so they try to cut you off. How many fender bender? Well, if something like that happens to you, David Van Sant is a name you need to know, Van Sant Law. The reason is, well, a couple of reasons, very simple. First of all, David Van Sant used to work for the insurance companies. And I mean, that makes a big deal of sense because he knows all the tricks of the trade. And again, goodness sakes, we have insurance companies because we've all used them. But again, they have their charts and their tables, and they don't want to pay more than they have to. And so they say, well, this ought to cost that much. And instead of you arguing with them, as I've done years ago and in the past, that's no fun. Get the pro, David Van Sant, because he knows all the stuff, and they see his name popping up on the thing. Oh, no, it's David. So they're going to probably pay more than they want to. And again, if you don't get paid, he doesn't get paid. So you are definitely number one. Insurance is complicated. Doesn't have to be. Don't take care of yourself, but don't sign anything until you talk to David. Here's that phone number, 855-GA-INJURY. Online, vansantlaw.com.
There's a tidal wave of clean car happiness sweeping across Braves country. Tidal Wave Auto Spa is your go-to car wash destination for a game day ready ride. Experience Major League Clean at Tidal Wave, the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves. Stay clean car happy all season long with membership discounts, exclusive giveaways, and more. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for details.
My car is happy. I am happy. Tidal Wave Auto Spa.
It's front office lows for Howard Brothers and Cub Cadet. April in Georgia means the grass is growing fast, and it's mowing time with Cub Cadet. From zero-turn to lawn tractors, Cub Cadet mowers are built for power, precision, and comfort, so you can tackle your yard with ease. It's the top pick for homeowners when they want the perfect cut every time. Let's not fall behind this season. Visit your local Howard Brothers today and get your Cub Cadet mower ready for the season. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Cub Cadet and Howard Brothers.
Hey, Dad, can I ask you something?
Sure.
How do you know when you're in love?
Well, can't stop thinking about him. Your heart races sometimes, and you just want to be with him every moment of the day.
Dad, I think I'm in love then.
Got a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I remember my first Subaru, too.
There are so many reasons to love a new Subaru from Subaru of Gwinnett, like standard symmetrical all-wheel drive on most models, top-rated gas mileage, and technology and safety that will give you the warm and fuzzies. Like the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek with 182 horsepower and up to 120 cubic feet of interior space. Or the 2024 Subaru Outback, built to take you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Add in their amazing staff and incredible service department, and you'll understand why love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. But the only way to know it's the one is to come in for a test drive. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or start shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
If you're the decision maker at your company, we have great news for you, for your HR department, and for your employees. A new and future-forward way to do health benefits is here from Thatch. Not only do your employees get better health benefits with Thatch, but you save an average of $1,620 per employee per year. That's right. You can save over $1,600 per employee per year. Plus, Thatch reduces the time your HR department spends administering benefits. Businesses all over the country love Thatch's breakthrough approach. Rather than a wasteful one-size-fits-all plan, Thatch empowers your employees by letting them customize their own benefits plans. And you save money and time while providing your employees with better health benefits, which works better for everyone. Book a demo with Thatch and we'll send you a $100 gift card. Visit thatch.ai/radio to book a demo for your gift card. That's THATCH.ai/radio. Thatch.ai/radio.
You need a pre-owned car or truck, but you don't need the headache of searching for one. Spending hours calling dealerships, then spending half the day filling out paperwork.
Come on.
You need the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, this is Tom from the Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale, showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay, plus a disclosed fee. Guaranteed.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Georgia Tech men's basketball season tickets for the 2025-26 season are now on sale. Secure your seat in the Thrilladome to watch head coach Damon Stoudemire and the Yellow Jackets take on ACC opponents at home like Clemson, Notre Dame, and North Carolina. Kelly strides up the right sideline, sets up Coleman into the right corner. Reeves a three, good! And that was with a hand in his face. Save your seat for all the on-court action at RamlinRec.com/tickets. Sting 'em.
The Morning Extra, starting your day the right way. Weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
What we are doing is just saying, if you're going to come into our marketplace, you better treat us fairly. If you do not, these are the restrictions you're going to face. That's it. That's all. That's as simple as I can make tariffs.
I don't know how you can lay it out more simple than that. It's so easy to understand.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is Extra 106.3.
This is going back a long way. 1970, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
T-Rex.
Spooky Tooth. Jackie Lomax. Elton John making his first solo concert debut. and Heavy Jelly all appeared at the Roundhouse, London on this day in 1970. T-Rex concert, Elton John's first solo. The tickets were 25 shillings. What's that? How much is it? Is that $1? Isn't a shilling like $2?
That was 55 years ago. I don't know how much it is now.
1970.
No, shillings are just coins.
Oh, I thought they were like no, a pound is $2. It's like $1.80 or $1.50.
Now, I don't know what it was back then.
Anyway, this on Bang a Gong, is that what we're playing here?
Bang a Gong.
Bang a Gong. And by the way, our birthday list includes a fellow made famous by, speaking of Elton John, made famous by an Elton John song. You may have heard of this song before where the lyrics go, ballerina, you must have seen her dancing in the sand, and now she's in me, always with me. Tony Danza in my hand. That's what people thought the words were to that song, Tiny Dancer, Tony Danza. Tony Danza is 74 years old today, just for the record. And on this day in history, 1986, I saw this. I got suckered in. It's like the older version of those reels that show up on your phone, where all of a sudden you start looking at one and you're going to have 100 of them. Geraldo Rivera, Jerry Rivers. His agent, by the way, was an agent for our television station when I was an anchorman many years ago, back in the 70s. And he said that Jerry Rivers was famous as, he actually, as a documentarian, exposed the horrible conditions at a boys' home reform school or something or other. But anyway, and he was a kind of a rebel-rouser guy. His name was Jerry Rivers, or Jerry Rivera. And when he got his TV job, when he became famous, he said, you got to go by Geraldo Rivera. So that's what his name became, although that wasn't what they knew him. Anyway, Jerry Rivers, Geraldo Rivera, opens Al Capone's vault. On this day in 1986. I watched it all. Did you see this?
Yeah,
from the beginning, the whole family. Capone was in Chicago at the Lexington Hotel. He got arrested years later. Renovations at the hotel. A team of workers discovered a shooting range and a bunch of tunnels that led to taverns and brothels, making an easy escape should there be a police raid. Rumors spread that Capone had a secret vault under the hotel. In 1985, Geraldo Rivera had been fired from ABC, criticizing the network for canceling his report made about an alleged relationship between John Kennedy and Marilyn Monroe. I did not remember that. That's why they fired him from ABC, because he wanted to talk about it. It seemed like a good time for Jerry Rivers to scoop a new story to repair his reputation. Was on this day in 1986, his live 2-hour syndicated TV special was about what's in the mystery of Al Capone's vault. Let's see. It was, but it turned out to be absolutely empty. He was quoted as saying, I remember it saying, seems like we struck out. I think they found an old wine bottle.
Yeah,
I think they found one
like
bottle.
That.
And it was nothing.
He could have held this wine bottle.
Again, poor. I mean, I felt bad for the whole, but I felt stupid and bad for all of us.
He never recovered from that.
Yeah, he'd been laughstock after that. And then there was a story about him when he went over. Was it Vietnam?
It was Iraq.
Confused.
Wasn't it Iraq when he was giving away their position?
Yeah, and so when he left, it might have been Iraq or Afghanistan, and he was the troops were complaining that he was basically helping the enemy without really maybe knowing it. And when he left, and when they shook hands with him, they did something.
Oh no! Don't say what they did. Yeah.
Yeah. To shake hands with them, like after they blew their nose or something. Just for that. All right, now 441. I can't believe this story. Elizabeth Hurley.
What? So just taking you guys back, 25 shillings today would be about $2.22.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's not
25 shillings is $2. So that's worth a quarter or something. 25.
Yeah, just
coins. Wow, holy cow! So it's more like a quarter than $1. I thought it was $1 a piece. Elizabeth Hurley decided to show off her new boyfriend. Snapping her new boyfriend and posting PDA, public displays of infection. They have a casual attire for an outing at the farm. She was wearing a blue flannel with a pair of blue jeans and a straw hat. And her boyfriend is Billy Ray Cyrus.
Ugh, what's wrong with you, Elizabeth?
Elizabeth Hurley may be, at the age of 59, one of the most attractive women you will know. And she has those magnificent
Hugh Grant said
breasticles.
she had the best,
greatest rack in the history of the world.
Yeah, ever.
Elizabeth Hurley is 59. Billy Ray Cyrus is 63, and they're in love.
Yeah.
They did an Elton John song, I'm Still Standing, with their Instagram post, kissing each other. The Old Town hitmaker wore a relaxed denim shirt and striped pants.
Has she got a tetanus shot lately?
I don't know. And the model's son, Damian Hurley, rushed to the comments section to applaud the new romance. Melissa Gilbert appeared. Wait, what? What? One fan wrote, who else totally did not have this on their 2025 bingo card? I mean, holy smokes. By the way, Billy Ray Cyrus now has hair down to his knees. I mean, it's like, and didn't he just have he just broke up from his wife?
Just got a divorce final with the crazy
Fire
one.
Rose, that nutbag.
Well, allegedly.
Well, I mean, the whole thing was just...
He ain't a prince.
Oh, no, I mean, my lord.
And that skank of a daughter he raised. Human petri dish.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, she's not attractive in any way either. Miley. Anyway, the singer, let's see, Billy Ray Cyrus shares kids with Brandy is 37, Trace 36, Miley 32, Brazen 30, Noah 25, with his ex-wife Tish, 57 years old. He adopted Brandy and Trace, Tish's kids, from another marrying relationship, and he has a son, Christopher, with ex-Christine Lucky. I mean, my lord. I saw the picture and I said, how in the hell would Billy Ray Cyrus be the one that Elizabeth Hurley was attracted to as her final forever life partner?
Well, that's not going to happen.
At the age of 60.
That's not going to happen. This is a fling for some reason.
Why in the world would you, what did I say, 59 years old? Or why would you start a fling with a celebrity who's in his 60s?
And washed up.
Yeah, and unless it were... I don't know.
And beneath her.
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, absolutely. By a mile, and for every good reason.
Her and Salma Hayek may be the best-looking women of their age.
Salma Hayek has got to be, 54 or 5 now? I think some 56 or 7 or something like that.
Siri, how old is Salma Hayek? See if she tells me here. 58.
Salma Hayek is 58 years old.
And she's basically perfect. So we got Salma Hayek, Elizabeth Hurley, and Nancy Mace. Give her 3 chicks. It's 4:45 already. Holy, I can't believe Chris Sale was right here in the bullpen, like 7 feet away from us or something. And I didn't recognize him.
Well, you didn't recognize him because he was in the bullpen.
Yeah, and also he didn't have a hat on or a uniform. And so he's just a tall guy, and he's standing there and people are talking to him anyway. So that was pretty cool. Braves tonight. Holy Crap of Sports coming up in half an hour or so. And your calls, 404-741-1230. Can repeat. Chris in for Flounder today on Let Her Rip Monday, 106.3. What's up?
Need more than just headlines on your ride to work? Tug, Rhino, and Los have you covered with the biggest stories of the day and everything your coworkers will be talking about. It's the Morning Extra, live from 6 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
If you're thinking about a new Chevy, don't wait. Now's the time. Head to Jim Ellis Chevrolet where the price is right now.
Lock in your lowest price today before prices start to rise due to new tariffs. Shop early while inventory is strong. Right now, Jim Ellis Chevrolet has more than 400 vehicles in stock on the ground, ready to take home today. That includes the legendary Silverado, family-friendly SUVs like the Equinox, Tahoe, and Suburban, one of the largest Corvette selections in the metro Atlanta area. And if you're shopping pre-owned, you'll find a great selection of certified vehicles too, thoroughly inspected and ready to roll.
At Jim Ellis Chevrolet, you'll find exactly what you want, but don't wait too long. Get yours today before prices go up and vehicle selection goes down. No pressure, no games, just a transparent customer-first experience that makes buying easy.
And after the sale, Jim Ellis Chevrolet is still with you thanks to factory-trained technicians who will keep your Chevy running strong. For the latest offers, stop by their showroom on Peachtree Industrial Boulevard, just inside the perimeter.
Or shop anytime at JimEllisChevrolet.com. Jim Ellis Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPsETC.com.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well, because the destination is worth it. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check them out online at atlturfco.com.
It's the NRA Annual Meetings and Exhibits at the World Congress Center, April 25th to 27th. 14 acres of guns and gear. A freedom-filled weekend with activities for the entire family. Tickets just $10. NRA members get in free. Visit nratickets.com.
I told them it's 4:51. Kimmer, Pete, and Chris in for Flounder. And we got an update on the Boston Marathon situation. But a little Stones here for you first. 1976, Women Against Violence Against Women, the group, called for a boycott of all Warner Communications albums because of the promotional campaign for the Rolling Stones' new album, Black and Blue. It was 1976, Violence Against Women group. The album was being promoted with a controversial advertising campaign that depicted a model named Anita Russell, bruised and bound under the phrase, "I'm black and blue from the Rolling Stones, and I love it." Yikes. 1976. Well, free love and women's movement and burning bras and the whole thing. And man, that was, at the time, that was, pretty uproarious. And so the women's groups were kind of ticked off about that whole thing. Anyway, phone calls take priority. Ed, welcome aboard. You're on the radio, my friend. What's going on? What do you think?
Hey, Kimmer.
Yes, sir.
Getting back to Terry Geraldo. He got the expose he put on.
Yeah.
It was in the late 70s, and it was Willowbrook.
Willowbrook. That's right. Was it an orphanage? Or a child's home?
A mental institute.
Oh, that's right. Mental institute. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and it was in one of the boroughs in New York City, and that basically put an end to the so-called mental asylums in this country.
It did an awful. In fact, that I remember now the word Willowbrook, and that did lead to that of course made him famous as well too. But that did lead to an awful lot of changes in the way we treat mentally ill people instead of just hiding them away and pretending they aren't abused. I mean, and I remember some of the video and the stories you told were just horrible. Horrifying.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Two other things. Another thing I remember about him was a benefit or some exhibition boxing match he had with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, yeah. I think
that was a good one. And last but not least,
yeah.
What's her name? Miley Cyrus?
Miley Cyrus, yeah, the daughter, yeah.
She's got a hot body, bro.
No, she's a 12-year-old boy.
No, she's got a square fanny. She got bad legs. She got funny. There's no way.
Cute face. That's it.
I'm a little younger than you. I'm a
Well, everybody's younger than I am.
I'm at least a year older than you, brother.
Oh well. God bless you, my friend. Thank you, thank you very much. That was Ed. That's our friend Ed. 453. Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. Well, I was going to do a little history thing. I'll bypass that. I'll get to that later here. Holy Crap at Sports coming up. The latest on the newsy stuff. And again, in fact, you want to play that soundbite again of the... we'll get to it after 5 o'clock. You're going to hear we're going to update the latest stories of the Pope passing away and also the latest on... now, more American Democratic Congress people have flown to El Salvador. Like the White House is saying, they're taking field trips now to the Democrats are taking field trips to El Salvador.
With our money.
It's like a class crew. Yeah, although these four are trying to say, well, it was volunteers' money. It wasn't taxpayer dollars. Well, please, you're working for the taxpayers. What you do is on the taxpayers' dime. What do you mean it wasn't paid for? My ass. Your salary's paid for. You're down there as part of your salary, and your job took you to El Salvador. Therefore, you're being paid as part of a job to go to El Salvador. You didn't take a vacation day.
Did they work as hard to keep the criminals from coming across the border? Not just ordinary, but criminals coming across to rape and plunder and bring fentanyl? No, they didn't do anything to stop that.
In fact, just as we know, just the opposite, and they wanted to have the people. And again, you keep forgetting this too. Even if you're not an American citizen, if you sneak across this border into this country and start living in a community, you are counted in the census, which means you're part of the determination of how many congressional districts and seats there are in every state. And so if you bring another 4 million illegals into California just got 4 million more people, which means they have another couple of congressmen available to them, which means more liberal congressmen representing more people in California. Even though you're not a citizen, you're still counted in the census.
That was the plan.
Yeah, that's exactly the plan. And it's working. It's going to work, and it's going to work for the next one. And by the way, I think you were just saying this before about how long it's going to take to get rid of 13 million Americans. It would take 30 years.
The same people that did not have any kind of due process coming over now all want due process leaving. The hell with you.
And because of judge fair, because that one judge said that every one of those 530,000 illegals is due an individual court hearing. Federal judge ruled that. District judge ruled that. So how's that'll take 30 years just for that one case.
They knew they would overwhelm the system, and that's the plan.
That's why they did it. By the way, some people are fighting back, including the state of Florida. Here's a bill going through the Senate in Florida. It would give homeowners the right to, quote, use reasonable force to take down drones infringing on your right to privacy. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's kind of a gray area there. The rights of homeowners and drone pilots. Under federal law, it is legal, it is okay to fly a drone over private residential areas if it remains in unrestricted airspace. If the feds haven't restricted the airspace, so a drone can fly over your house. But if they create a nuisance, homeowners can be prosecuted for trespassing, in extreme cases, stalking.
Yeah.
Now, there is a statute in Florida from a year ago saying if somebody uses an aircraft drone to take photos of private property and violate your right to privacy, it doesn't address using drones to gather a live view of a person's property, though. And so now a guy says, what if my daughters are sunbathing in the pool behind the house? I expect privacy there, but if you use it the wrong way, you can go to jail for a long time. So now state law says you can't shoot a gun in a local neighborhood, with the exception for self-defense. And if you're trying to protect your property and maybe the people in your home, is that a self-defense thing to shoot down a drone? And by the way, it could be a really pretty funny set of circumstances because, you know, when you fire a bullet in the air, it comes down. And if you miss the drone, it's going to land somewhere.
Yeah, but it's just going to, just bounce around.
Yeah,
it's
it
not
won't
gonna
be.
hurt anybody.
It probably won't hurt you too much.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Once it runs out of speed, it's
what could happen? Anyway, hey, Chris, we got another fly. Oh, look who's in the... Oh, my God. Who's getting in trouble? I'm the Morning Virgin. Oh, my God. He's back. He's back. The Braves time. Anyway, we got a little Flounders Funny there for you, Chris, and the Morning Virgin will listen here, too.
The best wedding I've ever been to was my cousin's wedding. It was a real redneck affair. It was right outside Louisville, Kentucky, where my parents are from. And my cousin's name is Tuesday, which is a good start. The invitation said, Tuesday's getting married, rehearsals Friday, wedding Saturday. People were like, we got to be there Monday for this wedding? How long is this wedding? It's a week? We get there, I'm wearing a button-down shirt, khaki pants, nothing crazy. I'm wildly overdressed. I look like I work there. Everybody else just has a football or basketball jersey on. My uncle, his daughters get married. He has his tuxedo jacket, pants, cummerbund, bow tie, no shirt. They forgot his shirt, and instead of waiting to go get it, he was like, let's do it without it, right? Like, that's... And he doesn't have a body that's like, that's cool, man. You know, he has a body that you're like, put your jacket on backwards, flip it around. Yeah. And then you see his back, and you're like, whew, all right, go back to regular way. Yeah, that's my fault. How's your back worse than your front?
Back fat could be a real problem. Hairy back fat has got to be horrible. Have you heard the latest thing about Ozempic? Feet. If people take Ozempic too much, you get all these flabby, flat on your... Oh, gross.
Is that where it all goes?
Oh, God. It goes... You get flabby feet. Oh, man. Yeah, go to the beach. It's coming up on 5 o'clock already. Holy smokes. Kimber Pete and Chris in for Flounder 106.3. And it's Monday, man. I can't believe we didn't get Chris Sale's autograph. I mean, picture when he's standing right there. Unbelievable. Anyway, look out.
This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.
Planning a funeral for the Pope. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. Pope Francis's cause of death has been revealed. Here's Fox's Kristen Goodwin with more.
The Vatican revealing Pope Francis died of a stroke that put him into a coma and led to heart failure. The 88-year-old's passing coming weeks after he recovered from a life-threatening respiratory infection, spending nearly 40 days in the hospital, mostly in critical condition. Mourners gathering in St. Peter's Square to pay tribute. Vice President J.D. Vance, who met with the pontiff just a day before his death, saying in a post online, "My heart goes out to the millions of Christians all over the world who loved him." President Trump ordering all flags in the U.S. to be flown at half-staff in his honor, saying Pope Francis was a good man. He worked hard. He loved the world. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
President Trump says he and the First Lady will attend the Pope's funeral in Rome. The war between Israel and Hamas continues after attempts to reach a ceasefire fail, and Israel vows to destroy Hamas entirely. Fox's Trey Yanks in Tel Aviv with more.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made a special address over the weekend, talking about his military, saying they will increase ground and air operations against Gaza. The IDF now controls more than 30% of the Palestinian enclave, amid reports that additional reservists could be called up to expand operations.
Regarding Hamas in Gaza, the military pressure works.
Despite the prime minister's claim that the military pressure works, 59 hostages remain in Hamas captivity, including American citizen Idan Alexander.
Houthi rebels are saying U.S. airstrikes on Yemen's capital have killed 12 people and wounded 34 others. The U.S. military has ramped up its campaign against the group, which has been targeting shipping in the Red Sea. The Houthis, the last militant group in Iran's self-described axis of resistance. America's listening to Fox News.
When you hear the term living better, what do you think about? More money? A bigger house? Maybe a yacht? What about how you feel physically? How you wake up each day? How you sleep? What activities you can and cannot do? When you feel good, life is good. So if pain is affecting your life, see how Relief Factor can help. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, it doesn't just mask pain temporarily. It helps reduce or even eliminate pain. In fact, the longer you take it, the more effective it is. So give their 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day. And it just takes a phone call, 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Wherever you're hurting, in 3 weeks or even days, Relief Factor can give you a chance to rediscover the true meaning of living better again. Visit ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis. Flounder and Mrs. Flounder do a little charity event today. Chris is filling in. The Morning Virgin's in the back there causing freaking trouble. Aren't you supposed to do something with the Braves or something? He doesn't know. He's walking around. You brought Chris Sale in here and didn't even bring him into the studio. I can't believe it. He was standing right there in the bullpen a few minutes ago, and we didn't even know it. Of course, I wouldn't recognize. In fact, when the big teddy bear, what's that? The big bear,
Marcell
Ozuna, when he took off his hat in the dugout day, he's totally bald. I mean, people, if you don't see the, with the whole thing, people don't realize what ball players without their cap on, you won't recognize them at the store. Chances are.
I've told you a couple years ago when Dansby Swanson signed with the Cubs. I was at the Five Guys up there in Canton, and I stood next to him for about 10 minutes before I realized that was him, and no one else recognized him in the whole place.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Just the ball cap and, of course, the uniform, but the hat. Yeah. Ball. Anyway, Chris Sale was here. I assume he was maybe interviewed on 680. I don't even know.
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
Anyway, but we should bring him in. They don't like us over there or what?
They're not going to let any Braves anywhere near us.
Anyway, for the Kimmer show. No.
By the way, have you seen the guy in the stands who it looks like Marcell and dresses like him?
Yeah.
That's pretty damn funny.
Yeah. And every once in a while, you'll see a kid dressed up as an umpire doing the calls like the umpire exactly the same way right behind him. Kind of cool. I love baseball. I miss baseball. I want to play baseball.
What's right across the street? All you got to do is walk across the street.
No, I mean I want to play. I want to play. I want to throw. I want to play catch. I want to work on a curveball and a knuckle curve, and I just want to play baseball.
Your hip is killing you just for taking a swing.
I scream every night. I haven't slept in I don't know how long because everything I'm doing to get in shape is killing me.
What happened to batting cages?
Back, my hip. I mean, everything.
When we were kids, there were batting cages everywhere. And now you got to drive 40 minutes to find one.
Yeah, I know. It's not right. Kimmer, Pete, and Chris in for Flounder. 5:05 is our time. 404-741-1230. 741-1230 is our number if you'd like to join us. And a lot of major stories, including, obviously, the Pope passing and the reaction to that. We'll talk more about how he's being regarded right now. Oh, and again, Holy Crap in Sports is coming up, but and we'll talk more about, are you going to mention the Boston Marathon? Probably not.
No,
I mentioned about the thing you did know.
A woman won.
There were three we mentioned earlier, there were three gender categories to run in the Boston Marathon. The men's division, the women's division, and the non-binary division. However, it means that a man could therefore, and now they've also now allowed men to run in the women's division, which doesn't make any sense if there's a non-binary division. Right. So if there's a tranny division, or a neither or anything or whatever, then why would they allow men to run in the women's division? But luckily, a man was running in the women's division today, but apparently the woman actually beat the guy who wanted to be a woman.
These are the same generation or two that have never said no to a kid, which has caused an entire generation to grow up as brats, and that's why you see these idiots out there sitting in the middle of highways and stopping stuff. No one's ever told them no. They're throwing paint on masterpieces, and now they're adults, and we still can't say no to them.
I mean, where did they come up with the balls to even start this stuff?
Because they were never told no as a child.
It's just
sit the blank down.
Anyway, well, we got all that stuff coming. Also, more on the Pope and everything else. But first of all, riddle me this, Batman. And Pete, I haven't seen anything new on the Kristi Noem mystery. This is an incredible story, and I haven't heard anything on Fox News about it either. Kristi Noem, last night in Washington, D.C., the Department of Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem, was having dinner with her family, grandparents, kids, grandkids, stuff like that. At some point, she realizes now, after the fact, last night, Kristi Noem apparently told people that she felt something brushing her leg or her coat on her chair or something. I thought it was one of the grandkids running around because we're all having fun at the dinner place in Washington, D.C. last night. And then suddenly it was realized that somebody stole Kristi Noem's purse. Kristi Noem with her family, guarded by Secret Service. Somebody... And now they looked at video. A white man wearing a mask took Kristi Noem's purse, apparently from her chair, walked away with it. Inside Kristi Noem's purse is her passport, her driver's license, her Department of Homeland Security badge, because she's, the boss, her keys, her $3,000 in cash, and all kinds of personal documents. Grandkids, children, everybody in town using to treat the family for dinner and activities and Easter time stuff, and somebody walked away with their purse. And they saw video of the guy walking away with their purse. How is it possible that someone could walk away with Kristi Noem's purse in the middle of Washington, D.C. restaurant with her family and the Secret Service?
Because the service is standing there with their thumbs up their butts. Just like they wore up at when Trump was almost assassinated.
I mean, seriously.
What do they do these days?
I mean, I can't believe it. And I guess he's still on the loose.
But did they look the other way like they did up in Pennsylvania and decide, we're not going to be on the job today?
And I guess it'd be smart. He'll take the $3,000 in cash and leave everything else. What's he going to do with her IDs and passport? But you don't want to be messing around with that. It's bad enough taking the money. Throw the damn purse in the river or something, or leave it where somebody can find it. And then maybe they stop looking for you.
Probably didn't know it was her.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. And, the nerve of thieves, that's what they do. It's like you go into an airport. If you have your purse hanging over, if you're getting a drink at the bar and you leave your purse open and there's a phone in it, someone's going to grab your phone.
Well, he should have known it was her because there should have been enough security, both out of the site and on site, to deter anything like that from happening.
Who doesn't know what Kristi Noem looks like?
Well, a lot of people don't know.
She looks like a Barbie. Well, but
you didn't know what Chris Sale looked like. He was 4 feet away from you.
Kristi Noem looks like a Barbie doll with extensions and lipstick and makeup, and she looks like a doll. She looks literally like a doll.
She wasn't all dolled up probably for this.
Anyway, but still, somebody stole Kristi Noem's purse in front of the Secret Service and her. I can't believe she didn't have a gun in it. Maybe she did, and they didn't want to say so.
Which way did they go, George? Which way did they go?
Oh, man. That's unbelievable.
You got maybe they're Democratic plants, and basically they're liberals, and they just don't want to help.
And that's amazing. All right, and Chris, we're going to play that other soundbite here, too, coming up here. This is another amazing story. 4 more Democrat congresspeople, one from California, Florida, Arizona, and Oregon, have now flown to El Salvador. And they're saying, well, we don't want to return of a gangbanger. He didn't get due process. That's right. It's due process. He didn't get due process. So now 4 more American congresspeople are down in El Salvador demanding Donald Trump change his mind about getting that guy back. And by the way, the gangbanger Garcia has now been transferred out of that horrible prison into a place where he gets his own bed. He's gets plenty of food. Everybody's pretty happy with what he's doing now. And in the meantime, let's remember this. he is at least, that we know for sure, a wife beater. When the Tennessee people caught him, we'll talk about him being a human traffic smuggler, but his wife had already filed a restraining order against him. And now today on Good Morning America, Michael Strahan, the former football star, who's now a media personality, he's not really a newsman, and so he didn't know any better, and he wouldn't have challenged her anyway. Michael Strahan on television today interviewed the wife, the battered wife of the gangbanger, MS-13 gangbanging wife beater. Interviewed the wife, Jennifer Vasquez, and listen to what happened when he asked the very tricky question. At least he asked it. He failed to follow up, which is his fault. But listen to what happened when he asks the question that she should have been prepared to answer. Chris, if you will, sir.
I have to ask it. You did take out a temporary order of protection against your husband in 2021. Were you in fear of your husband?
My husband is alive. That's all I can say.
Okay, and I'm not going to push on that, apparently. But
all that silence was of her being asked the question, was your husband was he a danger to you? Were you afraid of your husband? And she couldn't even say anything other than, my husband's alive, that's all I can say. What a freaking joke.
Whole thing.
What a disgraceful, disgusting freaking joke. You're living in America to a gangbanger. And by the way, the Tennessee Police Department, when the state troopers pulled him over, he didn't have a driver's license. It was expired. It wasn't his car. And there were 6 or 7 people in the car that had no ID, couldn't speak English. He was human trafficking. He was smuggling people into America. Allegedly. I mean, my God. And we know he's a wife beater. She showed the bruises and went up to the police department, got a restraining order against him.
Another war against women. They're wanting to bring more wife beaters in.
How is it possible not every wife and girlfriend in America who's ever maybe been abused, and even those who have not, who have daughters like my wives and stuff, are just outraged about this kind of thing, bringing back, if nothing else, bringing back a wife beater who clearly is a gangbanger, because everybody knows he's a gang member. They gave his nicknames. The men in his gang gave him his nicknames.
What was that movement a few years ago by the women, the Me Too movement? That was just one big crock of crap.
What a joke. Believe the woman and then, well, not really.
This is a wife beater, and no woman stands up and says, I don't think we should bring this guy back.
I mean, it's appalling. Anyway, well, here we go. 5:14 already. Holy cow. Holy crap of sports coming up. Fun times and another Flounder's Funny and so much more. Kimmer, Pete, and Kristen for Flounder and Mrs. Flounder doing a charity thing today. So we got it all. Damn it. Don't worry.
The Kimmer Show is live until 6 p.m. and Extra 106.3 has the rest of your night covered with Jesse Kelly up next. Fox Across America with Jimmy Fela at 9 p.m. and The Guy Benson Show at midnight. All live on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Boy, this is a great time of year to get that stuff planted at your house. And again, Stovall & Company, third-generation family, locally owned business, wholesalers for landscaping supplies. If you're planting trees or bushes and shrubs, or maybe you're putting in a patio and you need boulders and rocks and stuff like that, Stovall & Company, Paul and the whole family. And by the way, they actually helped a customer who wanted to do something special. And Paul said, well, we don't really have that for you here, but my competitor does down the street, and actually sent the guy to get what he wanted from a competitor because that's what the guy wanted to accomplish. That's the kind of family business that goes the extra step. Open up their 11th new store in Canton. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you for all your landscaping supplies. StovallInc.com.
The EQE electrifies the essence of Mercedes-Benz values. Leadership in user-friendly technology and earth-friendlier power. Satisfaction for drivers and passengers alike. And the seamless confluence of craftsmanship and innovation that makes the iconic Grill Star shine. Get an exceptional offer on the all-electric 2024 Mercedes-Benz EQE 350 sedan for just $509 per month for 36 months with $66.53 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta. Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the RBM of Atlanta's spring sales event. Visit today to see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through April 30th, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details. May in the A is upon us, and the month is packed with 5 exciting matchups and 6 must-have giveaways. The Dodgers and Reds come to Truist Park May 2nd through the 8th, and the homestand includes the Ozzie Albies Go Fish Cards giveaway presented by Visit Curacao on May 4th, followed by the Braves Race Car giveaway presented by Napa on May 6th. The first homestand closes out with everyone's favorite closer, Raisel Iglesias, and his bobblehead giveaway presented by Northside Hospital on May 8th. Then the Nationals come to town May 12th through the 15th. On the 14th, fans will receive the Marcell Ozuna bobblehead presented by Delta, and yes, his head and arms bobble. And May in the A continues with a series against the Padres May 23rd through the 25th, featuring back-to-back giveaways like a bucket hat built by the Home Depot on the 24th and Kids Visor on the 25th. Find all of the fun this May at Braves.com/promos. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Have you considered securing your family's future, protecting your hard-earned assets, navigating complex legal matters with ease? Nelson Elder Care Law is here to guide and empower you and your loved ones. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust and expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid crisis solutions, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, Nelson Elder Care Law protects what matters most to you. Imagine a team dedicated to safeguarding your legacy every step of the way. Our flat fees ensure transparency, and our customized plans prioritize your family's specific needs. Are you worried about protecting your family and your legacy after you're gone? Let us help you ensure you're absolutely protected from whatever curveballs life may throw your way. Schedule a complimentary legacy planning meeting with our legal team in Marietta or Woodstock today. Contact us at 678-250-9355 or visit at nelsoneldercarelaw.com.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to know the start of the new season is the perfect time to ensure your home's comfort. Don't wait like most people do to have your HVAC system serviced. Your home should have maintenance twice a year. Maintenance helps keep your system running at peak efficiency and extends the life of your equipment. So turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts for your system's maintenance. With Central, you get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. It's allergy season, and Central Heating and Air can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air is one of the few second-generation, locally owned and operated HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Attention Warriors, are you a veteran ready to navigate to success after service? Tune in to the Warrior Alliance Network. Join us as we spotlight inspiring stories, provide essential resources, and connect you with a community dedicated to empowering veterans. From career advice to health and wellness tips, the Warrior Alliance Network is your go-to hub for post-service success. Tune in Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. on Extra 106.3. Join us on the mission, the Warrior Alliance Network, where warriors thrive together. Visit us at thewarrioralliance.org for more information.
On this day, Mark Twain said, "Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first." And now, sponsored by RBM of Atlanta. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Well, a little breaking news earlier today, just a few hours ago. The Hawks fired general manager Landry Fields.
Whoa.
They promoted Ansi Salah to GM. The Hawks finished the season with 40-42 record, which you're well aware of, being a season ticket holder.
Well,
and did not make the playoffs for a second straight season.
I know, I can't believe it. Well, Quanda was very mad at me when she and her twin sister showed up to go to the game the other day, and I said, I got some bad. Well, anyway.
Do they talk together like those other
it's one
twins?
on either side.
Okay. It's a Kimmer sandwich.
We're going to play that again, by the way. We're going to play that again later. It's so amazing.
Fresh off a 3-game sweep of the Twins, the Braves continue their homestand with a 3 against the Cardinals starting tonight. I'm going to wander over there myself. The 1-2 right-hander Eric Fetty for the St. Louis against the 1-1 Spencer Schwellenbach. Sean Murphy behind the dish, batting 7th. Alex Verdugo leading off in left field. What a nice kick in the butt he's been since he's come over. Very nice. Jared Charlie Hustle Kelnick batting 8th in right field.
Hell.
Braves spanked Minnesota 6-2 yesterday behind home runs from Matt Olson, Drake Baldwin, and Marcell Ozuna. Both Olson and Baldwin drove in 2, and both of Drake's Stingers have gone to the opposite field.
Looking to add on to this 3-0 lead.
Well,
0-1 to Baldwin, and a piercing shot to deep left field, all the way to the wall, and all the way gone. 2-run homer, Drake Baldwin, the second of his career, and it's now 5-0 Braves.
He's got power to the opposite field. It's amazing to watch. Ben Ingram on 680 The Fan there with a great call. Grant Hay Holmes picked up the win. He's now 2-1, going 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. De Los Santos and Johnson finished the win. The Cards just got swept by the Mets, so they're coming in with their tail between their legs. Despite the sweep of the Twinkies, the Bravos are 8-13 and still in last place in the National League East, 6.5 games behind the Metropolitans. The Redbirds are in 4th place in the NL Central, 4 games behind the Cubs. Still some feedback over Ronald Acuna Jr.'s tweet Saturday night after Jared Kelnick failed to hustle to first base. He was admiring what he thought was a homer and got thrown out at second. When asked by beat reporter Mark Bowman after the game if he should have said something to Kelnick, manager Brian Snitker said, "Was I supposed to?" Snitker later said he hadn't seen the lollygagging and no one told him about it at the time. Acuna went on Twitter to say, "If it were me, they would take me out of the game." Well, he's right. Acuna has been taken out of the game for lack of hustle several years ago. So Marcell Ozuna and Ender Inciarte have also been taken out, but Kelnick was not. Jared has since apologized to his manager and others for his mistake. Acuna was caught not hustling a few times. All around, it's a bad look. Jared for not running hard, Snitker for not knowing about it, and Acuna for posting before thinking. All this should be handled in-house, not in the media. It overshadowed what was a great weekend, a turnaround weekend for the Braves. My big question is, how as a skipper do you not know about this?
Yeah, that's
not a good look. I can see focusing on something else and missing Kelnick's lack of hustle, but where are the coaches? Are we to believe no one else saw it but the fans? And no one thought to mention it but Snitker. I was watching
I saw. The first thing I thought was, "Oh my God, how could you be trotting down there and then hustle around?" Of course you're going to. I mean, I couldn't believe it.
Well, hopefully this is just a blip in the long season, forgotten once Ronald is back and playing every day, and Kelnick is on the bench more than in the lineup. Even though the last few days he swung a pretty good bat. He had a home run. He had that should have been a home run.
Yeah, he shouldn't be kicked off the team or anything stupid like that. But I, honestly, in my opinion, I think he owes the pub. I think he owes children an explanation. I think he needs to come
He's
on
come
publicly
out and said it was a mistake.
And
He
say,
did.
"Man, this is a bad example for every little leaguer out there. Don't believe me? This is.
He said,
don't let this follow you around forever."
He made a mistake, and he's learned.
Well,
he's not,
good.
and it won't happen again. Acuna has taken the tweet down, so I say play ball.
Yeah, it's over.
Meanwhile, in Flushing, New York, the Mets wasted no time in making light of the kerfuffle with the Braves. When Ronald's younger brother, Luis Angel Acuna, came to plate for the Mets Sunday, the video board operator in Citi Field posted a simple message on the player profile: "Has not done any tweeting today." Luis Angel is off to a great start this season. Following their win over the Twins, the Braves made a trade with the Orioles for right-handed pitcher Scott Blewett in exchange for cash. Jose Suarez has been designated for assignment. Max Fried almost had a no-hitter in the Yankees win in Tampa yesterday. They changed, actually, and they took it away, and then a guy got a hit. But still. Looks like the Braves got the best out of Charlie Morton. Since joining the Orioles, Charlie is 0-5, an earned run average approaching 11.
It's not.
The 41-year-old allowed 7 runs over 2 1/3 innings as the Reds won in Baltimore 24-2 yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Georgia got 3 transfers Sunday. Former Army outside linebacker Elo Mendoza, Illinois running back Josh McCray, and Hurricanes defensive lineman Josh Horton. Just in case you are considering, even for just 1 minute, that the Falcons will get the NFL draft starting Thursday night off to a great start. Here's today's headline on AtlantaFalcons.com.
No. They didn't trade down. Oh, my God, no.
Why Falcons could draft an offensive lineman.
Okay.
You've been warned. Also, the Falcons are reportedly asking other teams to pay $20 million American dollars of Kirk Cousins' salary if they trade for him.
I don't think a lot of people are going to go for that
I don't
idea.
think so either. We'll see. The Falcons have added a backup quarterback, Easton Stick.
Easton Stick. I love it.
That sounds like an act in vaudeville or something. Easton Stick has spent the last 6 seasons with the Chargers. Filled in for the injured Justin Herbert for 5 games. Guess how many?
Heard of him. I've never heard his name.
Well, he's been a backup for Justin Herbert.
Yeah, but he must have played at some college somewhere to be good enough to make the pros. I've never heard his name mentioned.
Where did he play in college, Chris? Top men working on it as we speak.
No, Chris, he's messing with you. Don't worry.
No, you can look at Easton Stick is his name. The Chargers, he filled in for 5 games. How many games did the Chargers win when he filled in?
All 5.
Lower.
4.
Lower.
3.
Lower.
0.
0.
So to answer what college he went to North Dakota State.
North Dakota. Actually, I do remember him because I watched some of their guys at the Bison.
Yeah, very, very good college program.
Yeah, very good. Very good college quarterback, but not very good so far in the NFL. He'll likely compete with Emory Jones for the 3rd quarterback spot. I know you're a big Emory Jones
Emory
fan.
and I go, we did a bar crawl one night I'll never forget.
You like to drive up there to Flowery Branch, South Carolina, and just watch him work out.
I watch the workouts and everything.
Falcons off-season program starts tomorrow, so maybe, you
they want to be up there to talk to the guys.
Give them a little.
I'm going to be late. They want
pep talk.
Pep talk to the locker room. By the way, a guy from Army is transferring. How do you get out of going to Army?
Well,
you have to sign a contract to be in the Army for 6 years to get into West Point.
That's a very good question, Chris. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to look that up.
No, seriously.
I don't know how nowadays you can. I think they've relaxed the rules.
Well, now they have to petition the senator, I believe, to be able to get out of it. It's the same thing that they have to do to be able to exempt them out of it so they can go to the NFL draft.
Yeah, but there's one thing. If it used to be that you had to either postpone it, like Roger Staubach. I mean, the days of that are long gone, I guess.
Paul Skeens left Air Force to go to LSU.
Well, again, I don't think that's right. I don't think it's right. If you go to the Air Force, if you go to a military academy, you owe them for letting them get you in there, and you should, after your college's thing, then you owe 6 years to the military, or at least left the 4 years active duty and a couple of reserves. You made the deal.
Yeah, you said duty, too.
I said duty.
One NFL team released a statement lamenting the death of Pope Francis. For what Jay has in the box, which team was it?
The New Orleans Saints.
Absolutely. The New Orleans Saints. Absolutely. ESPN's Shannon Sharp being sued for an alleged rape. The woman wants $50 million to make it go away.
Oh, wow.
Cooper Flagg has declared for the NBA draft after one big season at Duke. Atlanta United shut out 3-0 in Philadelphia Saturday, the Five Stripes in 12th place in the Eastern Conference.
Wow.
I think there's only 15 teams in the conference.
They just fire another coach or a manager or something, I think?
Something like that. I don't know. It's a far cry from what it was just 3-4 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
On this day in sports history, April 21st, in 1982, the Braves beat the Reds 4-3 to extend their winning streak to 13 straight to start the season.
Yeah, there you go.
18. I remember being at the Commodity Exchange. There's a bar across from North Lake Mall, and we watched Claudell Washington got a hit in the late innings to win that game. I don't know if it was this game, but it was during that streak.
Yeah,
we were all sitting there doing shots
13.
of Yukon Jack, which was a huge mistake.
Oh, my.
Huge. 1898, Phillies pitcher Bill Duggleby hit a grand slam in his first major league at-bat. You got that son of How long did it take for someone else to do it?
Oh, but now it's a trick question. No, it took, let's see, it took 107 years.
Yes, 107 years for someone else to do it.
Is that unbelievable?
Yeah. 2005, Jeremy Hermida, a grand slam in his first at-bat for the Marlins.
And then Kevin Kuzmanoff of the Cleveland Indians did it. Daniel Nava of the Boston Red Sox did it, too.
Since then?
In June 2010.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
Bobby Bonds did it, but he did it in his third at-bat in his first game.
First game.
1951 NBA title game. The Rochester Royals beat the Knickerbockers 79-75 to take the series 4-3. The Rochester Royals.
I'll be darned. Back in the days of the Syracuse Gnats.
The Syracuse Gnats of Fort Wayne Pistons.
Yeah. And I played basketball with Dolph Schayes of the Syracuse Gnats.
Any video of this? Any proof? Photos?
It was the Perkins residence.
Daguerreotypes?
I can go back and get the statistics for you. Also, a couple things. Pete Davis, say, how are we doing on time? Well, I'll a quick birthday, and we'll come back. Tony Romo. Former Dallas quarterback, and still, he's kind of still in trouble. They kind of turning on, aren't they? Turning on.
Well,
him
they've turned on him, yes, but he's still doing the analyst.
He's still, yeah. I liked him. I think he's gotten a little weird lately, but Tony Romo's 45, so happy birthday. There you go. More coming up. Kevin Pete, Chris in for Flounder, 4:31 on your Monday, 106.3. How's it going?
Wherever you are in Georgia, you can stream Extra 106.3 in crystal clear digital with the all-new Extra 106.3 app. Get Extra's live on-air stream in real time, or go back and listen to all your favorite shows, Neil Bortz, or original podcasts, no matter where you go. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Well, there's good news to get your new health insurance plan from the health insurance doctor. There's plenty of time, but it's up to you because you don't have to worry about enforced network things or nationwide PPO stuff, or maybe maybe you like a plan where you don't have to fork over the $50 when you walk into the doctor's office. It's the health insurance doctor. His name is Steven, and again, the big boys are in town. Introducing Trump Care. Self-employed or not, have family thing, a small business owner maybe, in it for yourself, close to Medicare, Cobra. I don't know about that stuff. If you're looking for a plan and want to save money, he's got customers, the health insurance doctor, saving tens of thousands of dollars on their premiums. It's true. And year-round plans, no IRS penalties to worry about. Hard to get subsidies are not a thing. With Stephen knows all this stuff. He knows all the charts and tables and things to look up for what you want. Do you want things for cancer stuff or eyeglass stuff or accidental policy stuff? I don't know. Whatever you're looking for. He puts it all together for you, looks it all up, and guess what? You don't have to pay him for the job he does for you. It's a free quote. Here's the number, 678-523-0759. On the web, healthinsurancedoctor.net.
Longer days mean more time to tackle what really matters, like your home's exterior. From roofing and siding to gutters and windows, Southern Exteriors offers quality and precision you can count on. Right now, get 10% off any job or take advantage of 12 months 0% financing. Hey, it's Tug, and I know the folks at Southern Exteriors. They're the kind of people I trust to work on my own home, and you should too. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co today. 877-9-SOUTHERN or southernexteriors.co.
Welcome to Collins Hill Golf Club. Located only minutes between Georgia 316 and I-85 in Lawrenceville, lies one of Northeast Atlanta's best fun and affordable golf courses. A beautiful traditional layout with small undulating greens and narrow tree lines, and a new pond restoration project that will enhance the beauty and playability of the course. Collins Hill offers a wonderful challenge for every skill level. But golf is just the beginning of what you'll find at Collins Hill Golf Club. The clubhouse is the ideal place for members and guests to relax. The staff at Collins Hill is another key asset to the club. There is always something going on at Collins Hill Golf Club. Interested in competitive golf tournaments locally? Join the Collins Hill Men's Golf Association. Annual membership includes a golf tournament happening every month. Visit collinshillgolf.com for information. That's collinshillgolf.com.
This is Tom with the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, what's with all this honesty stuff?
We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly.
How honestly?
We guarantee that each vehicle we sell will come with a bill of sale showing what we paid for the vehicle. You'll pay what we pay, plus our disclosed fee guaranteed.
No gimmicks or tricks?
Nope.
Man, this sounds like a new way to buy a car.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit honestcarguy.com.
Ask not what your AC unit can do for you, but what Dobbs Heating and Air can do for your AC unit. You need to make sure your AC is in tip-top shape, and Dobbs has a ridiculous deal. $39 for a tune-up of your home cooling system for extra 106.3 listeners. Get your AC ready for summer for only $39. Can't beat it. Tune up and be super cool and comfortable this summer thanks to Dobbs Heating and Air. Head to DobbsHVAC.com to become part of the Dobbs family and experience the Dobbs difference. DobbsHVAC.com.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Okay, you're driving along. Suddenly you hear that horrible sound of metal and crunching. It's an accident. Even if it's a little minor fender bender, man, that could be a nightmare. First, obviously, take care of yourself. But before you make a deal with an insurance company or anybody else, call David Van Sant with Van Sant Law. You know why? Because he used to work for the insurance company, so he knows how to get the right settlement and right away. Van Sant Law. Don't forget, if you don't get paid, they don't get paid. Protecting your interests. Insurance is great, but it's complicated. 855-GA-INJURY or vansantlaw.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get your second month free for a limited time. You'll get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month. Here's Veronica and Jackie, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
And now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free when they use promo code SECONDFREE. Just call, click, or bring us your bill and see how much you can save. Because when it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and use code SECONDFREE to get a free second month. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Atlanta radio legends, proud military vets, national network experts are all on Extra 106.3.
It's going to be an interesting couple of months.
With live and local shows in the morning and afternoon, and the biggest conservative hosts in the country throughout the day. We are always here with the latest news and opinions you need.
There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
No traffic interruptions, no former shock jocks, just Atlanta legends you've turned to for a generation. The conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
All right, here we go. 5:37. Kimmer, Pete, and Chris in for Flounder today. We got some sad update story coming up here for you in a second. First of all, and by the way, you can tell that Chris is filling in for Flounder because when he printed up the music sheet, which is normally a Flounder thing. Oh, hold on, he's got a message. It's that
yeah, I got it.
Okay, you got that. I've got an update here for you coming in a second. That was lonely heart. I was on this day, and the reason I mentioned this, on the sheet of paper with the music thing, Chris has it printed on the back of it, which is, I almost couldn't find, I thought it was over. The final recordings were a short section of gibberish and then the story ends. And on the back of the sheet, it continues, the noise would allow a day in the life of the Run-Out group. This is on the Beatles at their Abbey Road studios, completed Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band on this day. In 1967, the noises and voices engineered, cut up, randomly reassembled, and edited backwards. At John Lennon's suggestion, they added a high-pitch 15-kilocycle whistle, audible only by dogs who were listening to the music. Those were omitted from the American version of the album, by the way. That's why you wouldn't know that in the American version. Anyway, that's pretty cool. That's cool. Let's see. I'll forget that part. Oh, one more kind of a sports update thing, and then sort of a sad update here in the news. Pete Davis.
It is sad.
On this day in 1980, Rosie Ruiz wins the Boston Marathon, 26 years old. She had run, they gave her the laurel, the medal, the wreath, the silver bowl, and 8 days later, they took it all away. She was an administrative assistant in New York City. She ran the New York Marathon and actually qualified to go into run the Boston Marathon. She was going to cheat, but her boss was so impressed that she was going to run the Boston Marathon. He says, I'll pay your way to do the whole thing. So she'd, okay, great. She wanted to jump in the middle of the pack of runners by taking a transit train, an MTA train, and then join the runners halfway through, but she miscalculated joining the marathon and only ended up joining them 1 mile from the end, not realizing that she was ahead of all the other girl runners. So all of a sudden, I don't think she wanted to win. She just wanted to run in it to impress her boss. And all of a sudden, she had to win because she was way ahead of all the rest of them, not knowing that she was a mile ahead or a mile from the end. 448 other women well behind her, and people were suspicious. One, I saw her. She looked like her legs were made of cottage cheese. Mm-hmm. She was not a muscular running woman, girl. Anyway, they took away all their stuff, gave it to somebody else, later invalidated. She took the subway.
I thought she got a taxi.
She took that. Well, she took a taxi, but she also took a subway for the last part of it. In 1982, there's 2 years later in 82, she was accused of stealing money from an employer. She was caught selling drugs to an undercover cop in Florida, went to jail twice, and died in 2019.
Wow.
By the way, the first Boston Marathon was run in April of 1897. Women could run starting in 1972. Anyway, there you go. 540, Kimmer Pete and the Flounder. 404-741-1230. I was mentioning I watched during Easter. I was watching part of the TV series from the History Channel called The Bible, which is from several years ago. Have you ever read about the Enoch? The book of Enoch.
That's not in.
It's not. There's and the more man,
there's other things out there floating. Yeah.
And I can't, the Pope obviously passed away, 88 years old. And when I heard it this morning, when I got up early this morning, my phone alerted me that he had died. And I was so shocked originally, first of all, because he was just out. He made it for Easter. Survived going to Easter, did a thing, and then died the next day, which I think is probably, maybe that was a thing. I don't know. But then I realized, man was 88 years old. He'd been dying for a long time. So, I mean, what a great life. I mean, seriously, 88 is pretty good. So I can't feel, like... Anyway, but then I'm looking at the Bible thing and the book, all these books that just, they say, well, it's too controversial. Well, who decides that?
The bishops did. They got together in two big councils and did it. And you just hope that God directed them to do the right thing instead of just humans making arbitrary decisions.
And again, these are things that are discovered hundreds of years later in some cave
or
the
Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff like that.
So, I mean...
In Egypt, they found some in Egypt recently. By the way, you have the attention span of a gnat.
What'd I do?
What were we going to do when we came back? We had some sad news.
Oh, God, yeah. This is sad news. I'm sorry. We just got alerted to this.
Flounder informing us while he's out there golfing. I don't know if you heard about this. Yeah. One of our former coworkers, a really nice man, Cadillac Jack, has passed away. The DJ was at the country music stations here in town and had a large following and was always very pleasant to us. Yeah. I mean, let's face it, the other building we used to work at, there were a lot of a-holes that worked there.
A lot of jerks.
A lot of jerks, and both men and women. And a lot of people that were above us in the pay grade were jerks.
Yep. But he wasn't. Every time I ever met him and all, happy, smiling, how you doing, what's going on, just friendly. I mean, just one of the team. I mean, it really was a very pleasant fellow. And then he was fired. He sued had kind of a troubled thing at the end of that story. But then he had some, I forgot what physical problems he had just recently before him in the hospital. I forgot what it was.
Yeah, he had some demons he was battling, and he passed away of a heart attack. Yeah, he'd had some.
We don't know his age. Do we have his age?
I don't have his age.
He's probably younger than I am.
I'd say 50s.
Maybe. I don't think he may even hit 60. I don't know.
Yeah. But Cadillac Jack has passed away. And that's sad because he was always very, very nice guy.
And his real name was William.
I got it right here. I can find
Cadillac Jack. William
Choate. Choate. CHOATE.
Like the prep school.
Family says they're going to be having a private family service there, but Cadillac Jack has passed away.
Our best wishes for your peace in the future for his family and friends. And again, to us, he was a great guy, and we're sorry he's gone. Way too young. Cadillac Jack. 543, Kimmer Pete and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And she's... New Orleans. The city council clerk, Laura Johnson, was fired in the New Orleans City Council because she created a hostile work environment, including unwanted touching, demeaning language, intimidation, and a sexual harassment case that was so bad it had lasted 11 years. Several of her employees, she'd worked for the city government in New Orleans for 35 years. For the last 11 years, her employees were completely sexually harassed and demeaned. Several of them filed a private grievance against her. There was a hearing and she got fired. Well, she appealed and said, no, that's really not, that couldn't be possibly true, even though people testified against her. So now a glorified human resources department has accepted the findings that she was wrong and should have been fired until a new commission has now said, well, here's the thing. We're going to have you hire her back, even though she engaged in inappropriate behavior, because the woman may have caused all that problem, but the determination of any harm she caused was lacking. In other words, she was a sexual harasser, but the appropriate appeals panel said that she didn't stop them from doing their job. Oh, my God. If this doesn't sound like New Orleans, the debauchery, oh, my God. And not only that, so the commission ruled that the clerk of the counsel's office was a sexual harasser, but they still did their job, so therefore it shouldn't matter. So in other words, you can sexually harass somebody at work as long as you can prove that it didn't really mess them up that bad, that they can still do their job. And not only that, the decision shared the names of the private victims who were in the file anonymously. And the commission report and the appeals mentioned who they were. What do you think that's going to have for the effect of every victim considering whether to report any abuse in the workplace now? That if it didn't really harm the rest of the people, it's okay, and they're probably going to mention your name if you wanted to keep secret.
How can that pass any muster in a court of law?
It's unbelievable.
That cannot stand, please.
New Orleans. 546, Kimmer Pete and Chris in for Flounder. It's Monday, and it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood on 106.3, and the Braves are against St. Louis Cardinals here in a little bit here. Kimmer Pete and Chris for Flounder. St. Louis, what did I say? Whatever.
Listen to the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, Neil Bortz, and all your favorite Extra 106.3 personalities whenever you want with the all-new Extra app. It's anytime show replays, all your favorite podcasts, and the latest political news from across Georgia. Download the Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android.
Springtime is here. Looking for a fun weekend with family, friends, and the kids? The Mitsubishi Electric Classic, presented by Venture, Georgia's only PGA Tour Champions event, returns to Metro Atlanta April 25th through the 27th. Pick your favorite hole to watch along the ropes or find public seating throughout the course. Enjoy scenic views, specialty cocktails, and fun for the whole family. Children 15 and under receive complimentary tickets with purchase by an adult. Join the excitement at TPC Sugarloaf in Duluth, Georgia from April 25th through the 27th. Tickets are available at MitsubishiElectricClassic.com/tickets.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. Now that President Trump has unburdened us from what could have been, our country's finally headed in the right directions. But the Democrats are screaming and yelling and losing their minds. And unfortunately, the bad guys are still here and they want your stuff. Thank you, Joe Biden. And customers are still reporting break-ins and thefts of their hard-earned valuables. Don't wait till it's too late. Get a quality safe from the Safe House. We carry the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. And remember, gun safes are sales tax-free at Atlanta Safe House. So give us a call or go to atlantasafehouse.com.
If you're the decision maker at your company, we have great news for you, for your HR department, and for your employees. A new and future-forward way to do health benefits is here from Thatch. Not only do your employees get better health benefits with Thatch, but you save an average of $1,620 per employee per year. That's right. You can save over $1,600 per employee per year. Plus, Thatch reduces the time your HR department spends administering benefits. Businesses all over the country love Thatch's breakthrough approach. Rather than a wasteful one-size-fits-all plan, Thatch empowers your employees by letting them customize their own benefits plans. And you save money and time while providing your employees with better health benefits, which works better for everyone. Book a demo with Thatch and we'll send you a $100 gift card. Visit thatch.ai/radio to book a demo for your gift card. That's THATCH.ai/radio. Thatch.ai/radio.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. You know, a great smile can make you more successful as well as make you happy. Yes, it's true. And your smile's waiting for you at my dentist, Dr. Dina Giesler, my friend for 30 years and dentist forever. This woman at Atlanta Smiles, atlantasmiles.com, the dentist with the doggy. It's really true, whether it's just regular cleaning or bridges or crowns or are your teeth bothering a little bit, maybe a little ache or something, or your gums it's not going to get better on its own. Take it from me, I found that out the hard way. Taking care of your teeth and gums, and everybody's happy. And by the way, you can relax with Dr. Dina. This is an individual, private VIP experience. The latest technology. She used AI to get my last thing done at my last visit. And don't forget the doggies, a little doggy to take a nap in your lap while you're getting your work done. And this staff, these ladies are angels, I promise you. You'll love going there. A veteran herself, Dr. Dina, 10% veterans discount off the top. Tell them when you call. 404-262-7733. Your smile's waiting. Get the doggy at AtlantaSmiles.com.
You know the old expression, I love it when a plan comes together? Well, with our First Liberty Notes, this has been so true. Hello, I'm Brant Frost, founder of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about our family's company all the time right here on this station. For over 30 years, we've been the local lender who said yes when the big banks say no. A couple of months ago, we opened up our First Liberty Notes program to Main Street investors just like you, and the response has been just incredible. Folks from airline pilots to physicians to even pastors are now earning 8 to 13% interest rates while helping to fuel the growth of local small businesses. If you're a qualified investor with a minimum of $25,000, you too could be earning 8 to 13% interest. We'd love to have you join our First Liberty family today. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and see if our First Liberty Notes are right for you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty Notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. SEC accredited investor status must be verified. Securities not offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
My name is Patrick, and I'm the Military Outreach Manager at the Warrior Alliance. I served in the U.S. Army as an airborne ranger and deployed to several combat zones in support of the global war on terror. Veterans bring excellence through our work ethic, skills, and civic duty. However, transitioning to civilian life can be difficult, as we all share a loss of purpose when leaving the military. Returning veterans have earned and deserve our support so they can thrive on their journey home. The Warrior Alliance understands the challenge and is helping warriors navigate to success after service. Join us in changing thousands of lives for the better. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
This is amazing. We're watching video. China had its first robot marathon. Robots running marathons, and of course, most of them broke down, had to be resurrected. But I tell you, if you want, I mean, it's coming. And when they start making robots that look like a pretty girl, guess what? The world's going to change forever. Too bad I'll probably be long dead, but anyway, freeze me, bring me back.
Cut your head off.
Anyway, this is, we got Iggy Pop going here. This Iggy Pop is 78 years old today. Singer, songwriter, musician, actor James Osterberg, known as Iggy Pop, member of the Stooges and solo artist, sometimes credited with the invention of stage diving. Lust for Life, The Passenger, Real Wild Card, I Want to Be Your Dog. The Stooges album Raw Power proved an influence on artists such as the Sex Pistols and the Smiths and Nirvana. Coming up, a game. One of our callers reminded us we didn't do our game yet, so that's coming up here in just a second. First of all, this is an amazing story. I was going to ask Chris, I forgot to ask Chris to play the song, Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree. The pop charts top to top on this day, 1973, a symbol for support for absent or missing loved ones. Tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Goes back to the Civil War. A yellow ribbon in a woman's hair indicated she was taken by the man who was absent because he was serving in the cavalry. No evidence to support that story, but that's where it came from. 1973, the song, massive international hit, 3 million radio plays in 1973. A guy returning home after 3 years in prison. The songwriters got the idea for the song from a story he'd heard in the Army. Columnist Pete Hamill sued two guys for copyright infringement because he believed they took the story from his column of his relating a very similar story 2 years earlier. He dropped his lawsuit when researchers found out there were several general versions of the same thing dating back to the 50s. Mysterious bit of folklore, to use a more familiar term, an urban legend. Experts in the library heard assertions to the John Wayne film She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, found a 1917 song called Around Her Neck She Wears a Yeller Ribbon for Her Lover Who Is Fur Away. And yellow ribbons on lampposts and trees and so forth forever and ever. Why not tie a yellow ribbon around an old oak tree? That's how it started. It came to me, said a woman in Maryland, whose ribbon-bedecked Maryland home appears to have started the trend in 1981. Anyway, all right. Kimmer, Pete, and Chris in for Flounder. And now, finally, ladies and gentlemen,
we have time.
Without further ado, we have another Well, bring him on down. Johnny Olson, a game for the ages right here. There we go. With Kimber Pete, Christopher Flounder, and Mrs. Flounder.
All right, we all ate a bunch of chocolate yesterday, of course.
Yes, we did.
I ate an entire dark chocolate solid bunny myself last night.
I have 2 chocolate things in my refrigerator.
I got a Cadbury egg. I'm going home.
Excellent.
Now, what wine goes with what Easter candy?
Oh, boy.
So you got those little peeps. Some people leave the peeps out, let them get stale.
Oh, that asbestos, yellow asbestos creature.
What goes with peeps?
Tequila.
Tequila?
No.
Sparkling wine?
No.
Sparkling wine. All right, chocolate Easter bunnies. What goes with that?
I would say a Chateau Lebrun. What do they call it? What's the real
Cabernet Sauvignon?
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Portuguese red.
Oh, okay.
That would work, right? Jelly beans.
Jelly beans. Oh, probably a sparkling burgundy of some kind.
Club Pinot Grigio.
Pinot Grigio.
Yeah, Grigio. Jordan almonds. I love Jordan almonds.
Those are tasty, colorful, candy-colored almonds.
Crack your teeth?
Probably a nice rosé, maybe.
Suave.
I don't know what that is.
S-O-A-V-E.
Well, I've seen the name.
Type,
I don't know what
I don't know.
That's a white wine, I think.
Easter bread.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either, but oaked Chardonnay goes with that. Easter eggs. What do you drink with Easter eggs?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Kava.
I don't know what that is either.
I don't know what kava is either.
God.
And finally, a Cadbury cream egg. What's best with a Cadbury cream egg?
I can't have any idea.
Chris, you have any idea? An Italian dessert wine.
Oh, my. All right, Chris, real quick, we're going to play the twins. And 2 Australian girls, identical twin sisters, Bridget and Paula, were being interviewed by a reporter about how their mother was terrified in a carjacking. Listen to the 2 twins telling the same story simultaneously, reading each other's minds.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there, and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, "Run, he's got a gun."
The 2 twins.
And our heart started to pound, and I said, "Oh, Mum, where's Mum?" And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, "Are you all right?" Because he had all blood all over his face.
They're not reading this. They're being interviewed by a news reporter. Holy smokes.
It's like The Shining.
They live together, lifelong bond, live in the same house, share twin beds, one phone between them, same clothes all the time.
One cell phone
One
between
cell
them?
phone between them. They live together. I can't imagine when one of them dies first because they're not young right now. Anyway, Flounders, one more Flounders Funny, I think, Chris, we had time for before we sign off out of here, if we don't.
I think we have so many choices that we have lost common sense. I'll give you my favorite example. In Atlanta, we had a stadium called the Georgia Dome. A buddy of mine asked me to go, and I'm like, yeah, we had great seats at the Georgia Dome. We were in the 5th row from the roof. But anyway, says, which team are we? I said, we're the little silver red dots, you know. But as we got done with the game, they have those huge ramps that spiral down until you get to the bottom. You have vertigo. And he grabbed my arm. He says, hey, come here. I did not know about this, but on each end of the Georgia Dome, there's an express escalator. Goes from the top level all the way to the bottom. We get on that, you watch people spiral, and you're just going, this is great. The only problem was halfway down, it's like 100, 150 yards long. It's massive. All of a sudden, just it broke. But then we stood there. I'm leaning over like, why are we standing here? And I can't see because hundreds of people are leaning over going, why are we just standing here? We stood there 2.5, almost 3 full minutes stranded on this escalator. I wish it was me, but finally this guy in the back just screams at hundreds of people, "Wah!
Start moving. Babylon B. Roman authorities investigating Jesus for violating stay-in-tomb order. Oh, my God. Anyway, Kimber Pete and Christopher Flounder. Thanks, Chris. Really appreciate it. He'll be back tomorrow.
Great job.
And in the meantime, Christine, sing me home, baby. I gotta go. You're killing me. Go Braves. Hoorah. Herb. Look out.
The morning Morning Extra. Every weekday morning from 6 to 10 on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta. A Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra.
Paying his respects. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Trump says he will travel to Italy for the funeral.